All right, we're live. So welcome players and viewers to the Brothers of the Blue Star, the second official online Journey playtest. I have here three fine gentlemen, well, two in checks. Good joke. And this is going to be some crazy sci-fi cult action. So I guess we're just going to do, I think most of you sort of have your characters kind of figured out. But if anyone has any character questions, we'll go over those and stuff in a second. But you can introduce yourselves and your characters' sort of concept and who they are. And we'll start with Morgan.
Just throw me right on the spot. That's cool.
Hells yeah.
All right. So I am playing a man who used to be named Damon. When they started building this ark and everything, his wife made an offhanded comment. In turn, she was ended up taken in, tried, put to death. His two children were taken away. And he is basically a shell of the man that he once was, but much darker, much more pissed off. Very large, brutish of a man who's now goes by the name Nomad as a contradiction of himself.
Awesome. Dylan.
So all I knew is that I wanted to play a killer robot. So I am playing Killbot, who I haven't, the full details of his character, I don't know, I guess I kind of wanted to hash that out with you a little bit. Whether my idea was that he is just, a robot that, serves the administrative personnel of the space station. Maybe he has had some kind of self-aware awakening and has kind of gone off the grid. Maybe he is just does his job and has enough personality to do exactly that.
Cool.
However it makes sense for him to fit in with the party, I kind of would be open to feedback on that.
Yeah, cool. We can sort of hash all this out in the next sort of 10-15 minutes.
Sure.
And finally, Mr. Chekhov.
So my character's name is Perry. He's just a space station boy, born and raised in Section D. Discontented with the rising of the cult, he took the midnight free elevator going anywhere.
I've missed you,
Can we just get them all out there before we start? Yes, it's called Journey. No, I didn't mean to do that.
Perry's a bit of a grifter, quick-fingered thief, notorious for getting in out of places others can't or possibly won't go. Ultimately, in his discontented ways, he ended up hanging around the bars, falling in love with a singer in one of the smoky rooms that's full of the smell of wine and cheap beer.
And, for a smile, they can share the night.
All right, guys, the game's
That's how the relationship began, and it went on and on and on.
That's it.
Ultimately, no, I'm not done. Ultimately, the owners of the Blue Star came along. They killed Perry's special lady, Jolene. So there were no more love and touches. Can't do it. But yeah, that instilled him the burning desire for revenge. That's the one thing he won't stop believing in.
Are you done?
I don't think you know what you did to yourself, Rob.
I fucking hate this game. I'm getting rid of it. All right. So, let's just talk characters a bit. So I think all of you have your stats pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And do you all have your 5 items?
I do not have 5 items yet.
No.
Okay. So these items can be sort of pretty much anything. But, if you're using a weapon, one of them will need to be a weapon. If you're using some form of armor, one of them will need to be some form of armor. And then if you have one piece of armor, say Kevlar, bulletproof vest or whatever, why you'd have that, I don't know. But I don't think we'll sort of worry too much about that. But that would then, give you a bonus to your defense. So it's all very sort of simple and intuitive, hopefully. So what were the things you wanted to hash out there, Dylan?
So it just occurred to me now, do either of the Chex or Morgan's character, do you guys maybe have like some kind of facility with like hacking? It could be that my Killbot was like maybe you hijacked him and hardwired him to serve you kind of thing?
Yeah, well, I was imagining that Perry being a sort of thief up on our space station would have some
Right.
technological.
He
knowledge.
Yeah, I
you know,
certainly don't.
is good at sort of hacking his way out of the prison cells or whatever, you know.
So maybe you've like hacked Killbot's brain so that he just thinks you're one of the station administrators and follows you around and protects you. So maybe you have to like word any instructions you give him as though they were orders from the space station.
That's pretty cool, actually. Or I mean, we could go with that, or we could go with in this sort of universe, the sentient robots. I mean, I'm open to either, and it just sort of depends what we want to do as a group before we kick this off.
I don't care. I'll roleplay it either way. It'll be fun.
Do you have any thoughts, Morgan?
For
Oh, he's been caught napping, eh?
no. I'm working on my inventory here.
Do you think, how do you think a sort of robot warrior would fit in to this universe? Do you think maybe Chex'
I was
character?
initially, well, with what Dylan had, I was originally thinking he was more of the guard or something, created by the Blue Oyster, or shit, the Blue Star.
Goddamn. I knew there was going to be a few of those.
Blue Star Cult, though, that they were using almost as a militia, I guess.
Yeah. So that sounds pretty good. So they were sort of the enforcers of the Blue Star Cult, and then maybe this one was defective or hacked, and sort of has been made to kind of follow around Perry and do his bidding, as it were. What do you think?
Love it. I kind of love the idea of Chex as my overlord.
Yeah.
Some shenanigans.
But it
Shit,
being
or whatever.
yeah, it being Chex, he's just gonna be like, right, I have a speaker system playing Journey songs. An asshole. All right. Well, that sounds pretty good to me then.
Do you want to go over items and stuff like that?
Yeah. So the way it's sort of worded in the book, hashtag buy it, is
Oh, did you get it bound and everything?
yeah, it's gonna be available on Amazon. So this is
awesome.
a proof copy.
Very cool.
That you'll be able to get at some point, hopefully. So the way it kind of works is you pick 5 items that your character has, and basically they can be anything as long as the GM says, yeah, cool, that sounds good to me. But they can be things, for instance, I think, Dylan, you were in the first game, weren't you? The Fiasco. Yeah, well, in that
The
one,
gas guy.
I said the Fiasco.
Oh,
Fiasco.
because he shot little gas pellets. So
Oh,
but
yeah,
I think I want to know as the gas
That was
guy.
what I was going to bring up, is that your character had cybernetic, enhancements and that sort of thing instead of items, so that you can sort of flavor them however you want to make it work. So it's pretty open-ended. So Morgan, you were quietly working away on yours. What sort of things have you got going on?
All right, so I'm playing this guy who's basically out for revenge. Any of the guards, the militia, whatever it is, he's basically hunting them down, is my concept. So for his inventory, I have a straight razor because he likes to be more physical.
Right.
I figured he probably would have took one of these guys' flak jackets or something, so I had like a long trench flak jacket type.
Okay. Yeah.
Third type of armor.
That would give you another +1 to your defense.
Okay. He has his wife's earrings just as a keepsake sort of thing.
Cool.
He has a shock baton, or I don't know. I was trying to think of whatever the militia people would have. He probably would have swiped one. And then one of his children's toy recorders.
Okay. So yeah, they definitely have kind of shot the almost like for, I think Chex is the only person to get this, but rounders bats sort of things that are sort of shock batons, which are, for you Americans, they're like mini baseball bats, one-handed.
Mhm.
And that's sort of what they would use. So yeah, you have one of those. And so because you have one of those, I'll give you the stats for it that I have, which is basically it's a strength melee weapon, or a brawn melee weapon, sorry.
Okay.
And when you hit an enemy with it, if they are human or if they are, flesh and blood, they have to make a brawn save at a DC of 6, or they're paralyzed for one round. So you can just drop someone with that.
Alrighty.
Cool.
I assume a straight razor would be brawn as well.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it depends how you use it.
As pick. Okay, yeah, I think okay.
So if you were just going to be like that, sort of thing, which with a razor would, I don't know, maybe, but depending on depending on how you'd flavor the attack, it's up to you, really, is what I'm getting at.
Gotcha.
Dylan checks. You guys sort of any idea about your items?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Jax.
No, after you.
Oh, thank you. What a gentleman. So I've got a. You can tell me if any of this is OP or whatever. I gave myself a laser Gatling gun, which is just like one of his arms.
Yeah, cool.
A net gun, so he can fire like a net that covers maybe like a 10-foot square area or a 10-foot cube or something. He's got superior armor, whatever that means, just armor plating.
Yeah.
A neural disruptor, which is a melee weapon, which does like a stun.
Okay.
And then a grenade launcher.
Okay. So I will say you've got basically 4 weapons there and the armor. So the armor's fine. That'll give you a +1 to your defense. And so you had a grenade launcher, a Gatling gun, a net gun, and a
neural disruptor.
Okay, well, I'll say sort of because the Brothers of the Blue Star are sort of a cult, their stuff is going to be sort of hackneyed and top of the line, so it's not necessarily going to be like a military grade type thing. Okay. So I'll say you can have two of those weapons.
Okay. So I will go with the Gatling gun and the grenade launcher.
Okay, cool. So I'll say the Gatling gun, you can use for that either dexterity, which I sort of, or you can use your perception. Sort of judge the distance. So however you're sort of statted.
Because he's like a repurposed junk bot, I gave him like all like brawn and dex and no intellect and perception. So I figure like his like software doesn't quite work right.
Cool. Which could again be another reason why he was able to be hacked. So yeah, I'll say so that will just do basically your standard 1 wound per hit. The grenade will say area of effect, maybe like 30 feet sort of thing. I'll say a medium range basically, and that will do. Again, it'll do 1 wound to anyone who's sort of near the explosion. But has the potential to do a lot more, and I'll sort of tell you what that'll do later on.
Sure. So to replace the other 2, I was thinking something like magnetic like feet, so he can adhere to things in 0 gravity.
Yeah. Okay.
That's fine. And maybe like thrusters in case he's in space.
Okay, so I'll say like you've kind of got like a sort of feet jetpack or what Iron Man type thing. Okay, yeah, you can have both of those, but I will say, being a sort of the hackneyed junk robot, there's a potential that they could malfunction.
Fair.
At a critical point. So there might, I won't necessarily make it like, critical point, you have to make the roll, but at some point you might have to be making rolls to see if your software and hardware can sort of handle the strain of,
no problem.
As long as you're cool with that. Cool. So that's a sort of example of, there might be success with cost type thing. And finally, Mr. Chekhov.
Well, I've got the electronic lockpick, which I imagine more like a key card kind of thing. So electronic skeleton key, I guess. Laser pistol. As his weapon. A comms unit.
All right.
Smoke bomb pellets.
Right.
I imagine they're not really a weapon; they're just a means to.
Yeah.
I was going to go for magnetic shoes as well. Funnily enough.
So it's a good thing to have.
Yeah, my character really into old films, so I Am Legend.
Okay,
Got
yeah.
himself a pair of Converse.
Okay,
Outfitted him.
so all that's fine. The gun, you can use Dex or Perception. Up to you, and that will just do your standard one wound deal. The smoke pellets, again, there'll be a medium range, so like 30 feet ish, and will obscure for a certain number of rounds depending on the situation.
Depending on how the wind's blowing.
Yeah, pretty much. Space wind. I think you had, apart from that, those three. It was, what was the other two? Magnetic boots, smoke
Magnetic
pellets, gun.
comms unit, electronic log pack.
Right. I'll say the comms unit. You can talk to Killbot with that. I imagine you've sort of wired in something to his head, so that's not going to count as one of his items, but you can sort of communicate with him through that. And I'll say up to a certain range. Like, it might only be good up to sort of 500 feet or whatever. So, I'm not going to put a specific number on it necessarily, but like, I might be like, you're a bit too far away for that to work. Just sort of when it seems fair. Okay. So it seems like we got all the kind of numbery stuff out of the way. And hopefully you guys have all your kind of traits and your goals and all that sort of thing figured out. Or are getting there.
Killbot's a very simple robot.
Good.
Do you need those? Because I'm all set on those.
I mean, it'd be interesting for me and the viewers and everyone else to sort of hear and sort of help flesh out the characters. So, yeah, why not?
Yeah, well, for my fear, I have a fear of being brainwashed into just another sheep aboard the Ark, or of falling into the trap of these people, or somehow against my will.
Nice.
My goal is to kill those that took my children or killed my wife. And my trait is I never stop believing.
All right.
I have the same trait.
Hey. That's why we work well together.
Okay. Just note down. Kill. How did you spell your character's name again? Oh, Nomad. Nomad. There we go. Dylan?
So I think he's a robot, right? So he doesn't have super strong emotions, but I think he spent some time being shut down before Perry brought him back. And I think coming out of that was probably a bit of a nightmare for him, like this prolonged sense of non-functionality, So he's got a pretty deep-seated fear of being shut down again. His goal is to protect Perry, since he believes he is a station administrator aboard Karatas, and then as an extension of that, to generally protect the station. And he probably sees the cult as sort of agitators. So where he'll probably frequently be asking for permission to vaporize them. His trait is he is always working hard to get his fill. And he always wants a thrill.
Okay. Kill. Checks. You go. I swear to God. I know it's coming, but just
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, so fear is obviously losing loved ones, which includes our mysterious friend and our tin can friend. Probably slightly more Killbot. I think he would have latched on to his new robot companion. Goal, obviously, take down the cultists and get his revenge. And trait is that he can go on and on and on and on.
Oh, you guys are such assholes. But what the fuck? Okay. So I'm sure you're all very pleased with your original fucking jokes, but let's go on with the game, shall we? So Karatas is a space station built into an asteroid. or a planetoid. I think they're the same thing. Who knows? So it's sort of this kind of rocky background that's slowly been sort of mined into and filled in with, you know, your modern sci-fi kind of buildings. Though being part of the vacuum, the area of space where the majority of people lives, which is just poverty-stricken, there is a sort of shantytown feel to certain areas where it just seems like there's no money, you know, and people have kind of cobbled together what they can to sort of make a living and build stuff. And there's lots of kind of old Earth tech that was brought away. So, you know, things like old, you know, arcade games and that sort of thing were salvaged and repurposed and used. And so you might come across all that kind of thing when, you know, when you're traveling about the station. The station's quite big. It's about the size of, you know, maybe a city or a town. And is generally, you know, seen, or this space station is sort of generally seen as like a place to avoid. And that is because of the Brothers of the Blue Star. Maybe 2-3 years ago, they sort of converged on this station and sort of made it their home, made it their own, and have kind of slowly but surely taken over it. And sort of what kind of political, you know, what little sort of political influence there was there has been eradicated by this cult. And they've slowly grown and kind of become this huge kind of organization here. And now they've been building the Ark, a huge, you know, it's almost as big as the station itself, but it's a ship sort of cobbled together from bits and pieces that they found around the station and that they've been able to trade from off-world traders who've slowly become more and more infrequent. They've been seizing and storing all the food on the station, so everyone there is just so hungry, and have sort of been destroying places like bars and that kind of thing, taking all the food and smashing all the liquor. So the bars kind of have a speakeasy feel, because under the sort of regime, alcohol is forbidden. The reason that the cult came about is because a blue star sort of appeared in the horizon, and they believe that that's the way to their kind of heaven, and that's where they'll find the meaning of life and all that sort of thing. And they feel that anyone who's not part of the cult and hasn't joined are missing out and misguided, and so they are going to persuade everyone to come on the journey with them.
Can I ask a question?
You absolutely may.
Cool. So the Ark, that was under construction before the cult showed up, or
no, the cult
sort
of the cult showed up maybe 5 years ago, or 2 to 3, I think. I don't know. And they've slowly been building it, and now it's at a point where they think it can fly.
Okay, got it.
It's sort of ready.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys have sort of all been expecting for, you know, weeks now to be the sort of call for everyone to get on the cult. But before we get into all of that niceness, we are going to start in a bar. It is underground, underneath the sort of front of a abandoned bakery that someone once tried to start up, but they ended up realizing that no one could afford bread and they couldn't afford flour, so it just sort of fell apart. And underneath, there's this speakeasy. It's sort of collectively known as Jerry's Bar, although no one called Jerry has ever worked or owned there. And that's where you three are sitting. Now, as to whether or not you know each other, I'm assuming Killbot and Perry already know each other, but as to whether Nomad has sort of joined up with the crew yet, that remains to be seen. But why don't you give a description of, you know, what your character looks like, they're doing, what they're drinking, and maybe what they're getting up to in this hellhole.
Well, Killbot's functionality does not allow him to sit or drink. So he is standing behind Perry, looking menacing, and just scanning for threats. He's got the little Cylon eye.
Nice, nice.
But he's probably about 7.5 feet tall, segmented armor plating, bright red, menacing-looking eyes. One of his hands is a small Gatling gun. The other hand has a little tube that pops off, and it sort of replaces itself like a transformer. With the hand kind of rotates around, and it's got the grenade launcher there. But that's currently hidden. And yeah, that's Killbot.
Cool.
He has a very dulcet tone in his voice. Killbot is ready to perform murder. That's Killbot.
Nice. What about Perry?
Yeah, well, Perry's sitting at the booth in this bar, and he's ordered himself a drink. The waitress just brought over in this aluminium tin construction. It's called a jerry can, because that's where the beer comes in.
You just can't fucking help yourself, can you? You just can't do it.
Yep. So he's sipping on that as he's looking at a couple of those flimsy electronic sheets that you see in sci-fi movies. He's looking at some of them, looking about the place. Perhaps he's here to meet Nomad. He's got some information. He's done a job for him or something.
Okay, I like the sound of that.
Play it that way. But he's sort of meticulously looking about, aware that the patrons of the bar no longer look at him funny, because of the robot standing behind them.
Yeah. All right, deal close. Let's hear it, Morgan. Follow the fear. Chex is making up shit on the go.
Nomad sits at the bar, waiting here for his agents, his people that hired him to do a bit of a job. You can see he looks around the room, a simple glass of whiskey on the rocks in his hand, takes a few sips. Once he sees Perry and Killbot come in, he'll slide that over to the waitress, give her a bit of a nod. He'll come over to both of you. He flops this nice 8x11 folder of those little sheets like you're looking at already, Perry, onto the table. Stares back at you for a few moments and pulls out his chair and takes a seat. He's a fairly large man, maybe 6'5", 6'6". He's not massively muscular, but you can tell underneath his clothes that he's very well fit, very portioned, very tight muscles. And he easily slumps into the seat, gives you a bit of a nod. He's dead. That's your shit.
Takes the thing, looks at it. Nice. What was the credits you wanted?
No, I figure maybe we can just work off of each other. Your robot looks like he could be useful.
Killbot has full functionality in mayhem and murder.
What he said.
Perfect. We can get used to that.
Killbot has full interruption functionality.
Put aside, I think perhaps maybe instead of paying up what we agreed to, maybe we can we seem to have the same goals in mind.
Oh, not adverse to putting our heads together. See what destruction we can cause.
I just won't give a shit if you die. Don't take it personal.
Killbot has no personality.
Don't listen to him.
Killbot's shoulders slump a little bit.
So, I'm assuming everyone here has at some point in their lives been to a train station. And you hear something akin to what you'd hear on a train station. It's a homeless guy jerking off in the corner.
You are an agitator. Prepare to be vaporized.
No, you hear a sort of ding, 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 which is sort of, you would all sort of, your ears would prick up. There are sort of these loudspeakers all over the city, and this is coming from the building upstairs, but it's so loud you can hear it through the floor. And you know that this is some sort of announcement from on high from the cult. And you hear a woman's voice, and she says, "The Ark construction has been completed. Emigration will begin immediately. Please report to the Ark. And the room suddenly just turns tense because everyone knows sort of this is it. We are, we have no way to escape. And they're going to find us. So everyone sort of begins like looking around kind of wildly, not knowing, what to do. And the barman, who you'd know as Phil, he reaches under and pulls an old world shotgun out and just says, everyone, get out. What would you all
Killbot
do?
stands perfectly still and awaits Perry's instruction.
Nomad will kick back his chair a little bit, prop his feet up on the table.
Yeah, continue sipping from my jerry can as I look at these sheets in this folder. What would they be? What would it be I was looking at?
Is that up to me or?
Yes. I don't know.
Whoever wants to
I
answer
was
me,
thinking.
guess.
I was figuring. Well, in that case, I was thinking maybe since you have that more infiltrator sort of techie sort of feeling for your character, it might be crude plans for the ship or the base or some sort of like thing that would help you infiltrate.
Okay, so I'll just sort of throw in an idea. How about you guys? Perry's been sort of planning an escape, maybe of some kind, and he had sort of maybe had a ship picked out that he was going to sort of steal, but he couldn't find a way in because maybe there was a current owner who was, big and burly and maybe a bit too much to handle for him, and he hadn't had Killbot at that point, or maybe there was some high official who was sort of in charge of dealing with that. So maybe it's sort of a way to help the escape.
Mm-hmm. I figured maybe it was just something I kind of swiped off of, just one of the guard type people or something.
Right.
Nobody majorly important, but somebody could have some information.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, maybe it's the codes to the ships, startup codes or something.
Well, in that case, then I'll spend some time kind of drinking and kind of memorizing these codes and whatnot and the schematics. Yeah. And I'll stand up. Killbot, come on, let's go.
And everyone, just as you're sort of doing this, right, everyone's kind of just standing still, not knowing what to do. And Phil, the barman, just levels the shotgun and just starts kind of swinging it, like sweeping it around the room and said, I'm not fucking around. Everyone get the fuck out.
Killbot pops open his grenade launcher and says, "You have been designated as an agitator. Stand down or prepare to be destroyed."
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I'm going to walk back to the table and say, come with me if you want to live.
Awaiting kill clearance. Talking to me or talking to Morgan? Okay.
Talking to Nomad.
Yeah, Nomad will tighten up his shoelace and stand up, give Killbot a bit of a scan around people. Grenade launchers. I'd like to keep my body parts today.
So just to be clear, he was pointing it at the bartender who's swinging a shotgun.
Yeah, so I imagine it's sort of become like the barman's kind of, he's never shot anyone before, but he's sort of aiming at the only person who's sort of freaking him out, which is Killbot. And he's just sort of saying shit like, I'll fucking kill you. I'll fucking kill you. But his hands are like shaking and he's sweating in buckets.
Death is meaningless to me, citizen. You should lower your weapon now or face annihilation.
You'll face it. And he sort of crouches down behind the bar.
So I'll wait until me and Nomad have kind of reached the door and went through it and pop my head back in and go, yo, Killbot, come on.
By your command. Killbot powers down his rocket launcher and turns and leaves.
So it could come in handy.
You guys sort of up the stairs into the bakery, and immediately you sort of walk up, and then you duck back down as you see two guys just walking past the kind of front of the room. They both have these massive stun bats, and they're wearing these sort of blue overalls with these kind of white sort of star pattern on the back. Cultists clearly, but well armed, and they're sort of looking around, trying to find people. And you see some further away, like grabbing this woman and just like throwing her on the ground and beating the shit out of her with a bat. And everyone else just is sort of looking around unfazed. All the other cultists.
Killbot requests permission to detain agitators.
I think we should give them permission. If not, I'll take care of it.
Permission granted. Go for it.
Killbot walks up behind them and just takes his gauntlet fist and brings it down on one of the guys' heads.
So yeah, so these guys are like looking around and they've got their backs to you and they hear the sort of and they turn around just in time to have one of them just fucking, gorilla punched or whatever it is. Yeah, why don't you roll me an attack?
Sure, just a D10, right? Plus brawn.
Yeah. Plus your brawn, that would be, yep.
It's a 7 total.
All right, that's a hit. So he'll take 1 wound because you got a metal ass fucking fist. And his eyes just kind of explode. He was not expecting that. His nose and ears kind of bleed or sort of start dripping blood, and he just like stumbles backwards. The other one just like yells and is going to smack you in the where your ribs would be with his baton.
So how do I figure out my defense?
So your defense is something that I have forgotten. I think it's 5 plus something or other.
Is it not
Brawn?
brawn?
Yeah.
It's your system, Rob.
Defense is 5 plus your dex plus any armor you have. So
Okay.
whatever your dex is plus whatever your armor is plus 5.
Okay. Defense is 8.
Okay. So he
You said-
misses you. Yeah,
You said 8 plus dex plus armor, right?
5 plus dex plus armor.
Oh, right. So yeah, 8.
Okay. So yeah, he it just sort of bounces off and the kind of shocking sort of zap ends don't hit you and it just kind of clangs off with no sort of damage. And imagine you sort of hit him or he hits you and sort of stands back, kind of looking up at you, and you just like turn slowly and look at him and he just shits himself and like starts backing away. His friend's like just clutching his head, like screeching. Let's roll some initiative. So that is just a straight D10 with no modifiers.
Put it in the chat for you.
Yeah.
I can't use the chat at the moment, so mine's 2.
9.
9.
9, yep.
Okay. Nomad, you're up first. So there is one guy backing away. So you guys, I imagine it's sort of a storefront. Killbot is at the front door where he's just beating the shit out of this guy. And you guys are sort of all in the store. There's the 2 guys that Killbot's been fighting. There's another 2 across the street and another 2 coming from one side. So there's 6 cultists in total. One of which is sort of lying on the floor, clutching his head, trying to get back up, and one of which is running away. And 2 of which are beating up a woman, but sort of pausing in that with the giant killing machine that's sort of appeared and are sort of making their way towards them. So Nomad, what would you like to do?
They're both, the 2 that are in there, both within like, do you use any sort of movement range or
movement range
narrative?
Is sort of arbitrary, but it's about 30 feet. So yeah,
Okay.
you can get to them.
Okay. So Nomad will step up these last couple steps and start walking forward. He dips his right hand into his inside of his vest a little bit, pulls it out, and just gives a quick flick of his wrist. And you see one of these same batons that these militia type people have, these shock bat things, retract out. And the end of it sparks up a little bit in his left hand as well. Ground. I'll go over. Does he look like he's going to try to resist me if I grab a hold of his this hair?
The guy on the floor, are you talking about, or a guy running away?
Yep.
The guy on the floor.
Guy on the floor.
Yeah, if you kind of go to grab him, you'd sort of move around Killbot and go to grab him, and he wouldn't see you coming, but then as soon as you kind of grab him, he'd like start pushing you away.
I'll just walk over, grab him by the back of the head, my hand. You see this glint of silver in his hand. I'll just use my straight razor across his throat.
Nice.
Ooh.
All right, go for it. In fact,
That would just
before we
be
do that,
tech.
let's make a quick contested brawn roll.
Okay.
So he got a 5. What did you get?
11.
Okay, so because you've got him by the hair and he is just powerless, you can have a +3 to your roll for the attack.
That would give me a 13 total.
Okay, describe how you kill this guy.
Yeah, so he just grabs him by the back of the head. Basically just grabs whatever hair he can and whips his head back. You can see that quick little flick of his wrist and the straight razor come out. Killbot, you can see this big smile on Nomad's face as he just rakes the razor across his throat and then just kicks the guy to the side.
And he's just like, just gurgling and like choking out.
So Killbot can't smile back, but he's got little mechanical eyebrows that raise, and it kind of looks like he's smiling.
Awesome. Yeah, so this guy is just like, you know, the classic sort of movie dying. But next, it's the turn of these guys. So the one who was backing away continues to do so. He is, you know, he's a bit of a pussy. But the other 4 who are still remaining apart from them, they start running in. So 2 of them are too far away, and so they are going to use their whole turn to just move up. But the other 2 are going to attack. So 1 on each of you. That is going to be a 8 to hit Killbot.
That is exactly what they need.
And a 2.
So wait, wasn't in the last game, wasn't if you hit the number that doesn't succeed, right? You have to beat the number?
That's correct.
Okay, so an 8 misses and a 2 misses.
Okay, so an 8 misses.
Yeah.
So you can both describe how these 2 inept motherfuckers miss you.
I just imagine just things clanging off him, you know, just standing perfectly still. Maybe he like grabs one and like throws it back.
Yeah. So, and how does the one miss you, Morgan?
Just imagine bringing up his same baton bat that these guys are swinging with, just kind of blocking it.
And as he does, his kind of long sort of duster coat like swirls in the wind. Well, the maneuver, I imagine, just because it looks cool. You know, the classic.
Totally.
All right, Killbot, it's your go.
So quick question, for hit points or wounds, how do you determine how many you have?
Your wound limit is equal to your brawn plus, damn, I should really have all this shit open. Actually, it's equal to your brawn plus 5.
Okay.
So
Killbot will say, you are in unlawful possession of firearms. You will be vaporized. And he's going to use a Gatling gun attack on one of them?
Yep. I'm assuming the one that hit you, maybe?
Yeah.
Cool. Or attempted to.
Ooh, that's a 10 total?
Yep, hits. You just start just vaporizing this guy. And I imagine it's a laser projectile rather than a bullet.
Yeah, no, it's a Gatling laser, so it's just like...
Yeah, so it sort of kind of almost like slices him in half. He's still up, but he has like several big holes in him. And he's just like... and sort of falters a little bit. Perry, you go. You're still in the shop.
Yeah, so coming out behind the Nomad and Killbot, sidling up behind Killbot to use him as a non-human shield. And tap them on the back. Good job, Killbot.
Killbot perks up.
We'll take out my laser pistol and peer around them. And take a pot shot.
Yeah, so you got sort of your 2 friends here. 2 guys sort of opposite them with a dead guy in the middle. So 1 guy backing off that way and 2 guys coming from the left.
Yeah, but one of the ones that is closer.
Yeah, so that would be one of the 2 basically right on.
Yeah, I mean, you can determine which one.
Yeah, whichever. Just one of the ones attacking your 2 buddies. If you want the closest. Cool.
Okay, so it's a 6 to hit.
A 6 does not hit. So you just fire off, and you just can't quite get the angle around Killbot's bulky frame.
Yeah, so one of the hot shells from the Gatling gun rebounds, hits me between the eyes.
Ah! Yeah.
Fortunately, it cured my mini brow.
Yeah. Just smell of burnt hair rising up. All right, that takes us back to the top. So Nomad.
So I envision when this guy's swinging down with his own shock bat, Nomad puts his up, kind of blocks it, swirls it to the side, and with that, I'm just gonna kick like right into the chest.
Oh fuck yeah!
Flat foot, trying to smash it, up against the windows or the doors or something like that.
Yeah, let's do an attack roll with Brawn.
10-13 again.
All right, so this place is low gravity. It's not no gravity, but it's low gravity. So maybe not quite as bad as the moon, but sort of somewhere in between. There's some form of artificial gravity. So you just fucking kick this guy straight in the chest, and you hear cracks. It's unpleasant. But he kind of sails like away further than you'd expect, and sort of crashes on the other side of the street into like a bin that's there, and sort of falls on his back as you just fucking Mr. T boot to the chest. Oh, I should have said B.A. Barack. It's not really Mr. T. Yeah, all right. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
You got a movement if you want.
No, I'll wait for the other ones to come in, and it looks like Killbot has the other one, so...
Yeah, so the other two do come in. So the two are on the left, and you are the furthest left, so they're both going to try and attack you, Nomad. That's going to be a 5, which misses, I believe.
Yep, my defense is 6.
Okay, and 9, which does hit. So one of them comes in, and you kind of bash it aside, but as you're open, the other one just jabs you. So I'm going to need you to take a wound.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna need you to take or make a Brawn save.
5, 6, 8.
8 is fine. You are not paralyzed, so you feel the kind of jolt of electricity through you, but he only sort of got maybe a glancing blow with the two sort of connectors. They're kind of live electric bits, so you're okay for this. And with that, the one who's sort of backing away, one of them shouts at him, like, "Get in here!" So he kind of starts running over again, but he's a bit too far away because he's been backing away for ages. The one who just got booted kind of is just getting himself up and sort of starting to move back, but he's like clearly walking slower than he should be on purpose so that he doesn't have to come back into the fray. You know, he's kind of reluctant. And the one that's attacking Killbot will continue to do so. Oh, that's a 10.
Ooh.
So there's no form of crits in this game. But that hits
Sure does.
automatically. Anyway, and you'll take 1 wound, and I need a Brawn save, please.
You got it. Oh, rolled a 1, so it's a 3.
Beautiful. All right, you become paralyzed for your next turn. So the shock kind of jolts through you, and you sort of, I imagine it's sort of like a...
So I bet he kind of, what I'm picturing is he hits me sort of like in a chink in the armor and like right in some really important wires, and all of a sudden Killbot's just kind of...
Yeah, so it's basically like a system reboot type thing.
Sure. Glitching out.
Yeah, right.
Starts walking into walls repetitively.
Yeah, so all that happens is basically you just miss your next turn.
Okay.
Which is now. So it would be your turn, but you're sort of coming back online, I imagine. Perry.
Yeah, so seeing Killbot glitching out in front of me, doesn't matter what time, what place in the universe, there's only one thing a techie can do to fix his glitching out robot, and that's to slap it around the back of the head. Make sure it works.
Yeah, I'll let you do that for free. So sort of,
do I get my turn back?
Whatever, and you just like that. We'll say that's what turns him back on. Otherwise, he wouldn't have. Maybe.
Well, so could I, if he's using his action to turn me back on, can I use his turn to take an attack?
I'll say if Perry forgoes the rest of his turn, you can take his turn instead.
I'll do that.
Very well. So you just reboot him instantaneously. Killbot, what would you like to do?
Was there someone crawling around on the ground?
There was a guy who was, but his throat was slit.
He's now dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's just one guy attacking you.
So I would let Killbot is going to he's in melee range, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. He's going to kind of like rotate with his torso, like, and just spin around and like wind himself up, and then unleash and spin like a helicopter.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Make a attack then.
That is a 7.
Yeah, definitely. So
2.
is that with anything, or is it just a backhand?
So I mean, I was trying to do like a propeller attack, so maybe I get like 2 hits in on him or something.
So,
not that
well,
however that would work. I don't know.
You sort of spin and bash him, and the first one, his head just goes, and he just falls down.
Okay.
His head actually sort of like bends backwards round, so the back
so-
of his head is.
So
in a
since
small
that's the guy
back.
that shut him down, right?
Yeah, it is.
So Killbot, like, his eyes like grow brighter red, and his tone changes, and he says, "Killbot will not be shut down."
Oh damn! So he's like triggered, and he just backhands this mug.
He's going
All
into
right.
rampage mode.
Back to the top then, Nomad. The 2 guys who are attacking you are sort of looking at each other, sort of nervously, basically.
Yeah. When this
but
one,
you've just been hit.
yep, this one hits me. I look at him, a bit of a growl on my face, and immediately, this is whatever guy hit me. I launch myself at him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Grab a hold of some of the loose clothing, whatever he has, kind of pull him forward, and just start bashing him with this shock bat.
Oh hell yeah.
I rolled a 11.
Yeah, that hits.
And yeah, he's just gonna wallop over and over, many times as he would let me. But
Yeah. Make that was an 11. So okay. So yeah, this guy already had a wound as well. Okay, so yeah, he dies as well. So you've killed 3 of the 6. Describe it, please.
He takes this guy out. You can see that his head cracks open a little bit. You can see his collarbone snap. Nomad doesn't stop. He just keeps paddling and just beating the shit out of this guy. You can see the blood covers the front of his chest. He has a smile on his face, and he looks over at the other one still standing.
Okay, so that's awesome. So I am going, Morgan, I'm going to give you a lasting effect here. I'm going to say that you are covered in blood. So you'll have the lasting effect until you clean up or whatever. Maybe blood soaked, which all that will do is basically people see that you've been in a violent situation. You're like covered in blood. You're looking dangerous, and so maybe in diplomacy you'll be getting sort of different reactions.
Okay,
and that
gotcha.
sort of
+2 intimidation, -2 persuasion.
yeah, pretty much. Okay, so that was no. Okay, so you just caved in this guy's skull, and basically there's 3 guys left. One of them was backing away, came back, and then has started running away again. Just helpful that he is not getting involved in this. Excuse me. Another one was booted across the street, and he's scarpering as well. And this last guy has watched you just dispatch 2 people, and you slit one's throat, then turn around and caved another one's head in. So he's like petrified of you. So he is gonna basically skedaddle as well, and he's gonna run. And I'll give you a sort of opportunity attack if you want, so you can have a free hit on him if you would like.
Oh yes, most certainly.
Can I take laser bolt shots at these guys?
Yeah, you can take a free shot then at the guy who got kicked, who was running away, because he's sort of running across your field of vision. And same goes for you, Perry. You can hit that guy as well.
I just swiped my baton at this guy, clearly missing though. I rolled a 1.
Okay. Yeah, so he just sort of is more out of your reach than you realized.
I got a 9 to hit my target.
That hits. Perry, you taking a shot?
No, I'll forgo.
Okay. Well, didn't matter anyway. That guy, you sort of aim it up, and I imagine he's kind of running, and the Gatling gun bullets are sort of chasing him and catching up, and they just basically cut off his head.
Totally.
Like, as he runs, and he just kind of crumples. All right, we're out of combat. This has been a bloodbath. You sort of hear like a sort of whirring sound. You look up, and there's a drone sitting above you with a loudspeaker, and it says, "Citizens, cease and desist. Citizens, cease and desist," just over and over again.
Killbot's going to ask it for its authentication phrase.
Fucking goddamn. So
Nomad just gives it the finger.
Prove station credibility immediately or be destroyed.
Just smash cut to this guy, and he's just like looking at this huge like field of cameras, and he just sees one with a guy giving a finger. He's like, "Oh, I'm just doing my job." So the cult, or the what's called the drone, doesn't respond because it doesn't have to respond. It is just basically a loudspeaker on a stick. So whatever you do, but it's literally just someone's piloting it.
Authority of Go ahead, buddy.
Take down that bird out of the sky, will you?
Unauthorized drone, you have been marked for disintegration. Goodbye.
All right.
Gatling gun laser attack.
Yeah. Let's see an attack roll.
7.
Yeah. And it just like falls apart, basically. Smashes down right next to you. It's about, it's maybe about the size of sort of, I don't know, something this size.
Is it recognizable as one of the official like station robots?
Yeah, it's clearly like a sort of one that was designed on Karatas, but they've all been taken over by the cult, and it's got like spray paints, and you can see like evidence of sort of hackneyed soldering so that they can kind of take control of it.
So Killbot will turn to Perry and say, "Administrator Perry, unauthorized personnel have acquired access to station robots. Please advise course of action."
Course of action is we're gonna take it back.
So
Gives thumbs up to the Killbot and then turns to Nomad. Gives him the thumbs up, but somewhat less or more warily, seeing his kind of blood-soaked.
Yeah.
Just as Nomad is clearly enjoying this, covered in blood, smiling. Gives you the thumbs up as well.
Love the smell of blood-covered people in the morning.
Citizen Nomad, are you also Killbot?
Yeah.
Some people say that.
Kindred spirits. So yeah, you see basically that, or you would know, having a drone go down in this sort of thing, there's going to be people on their way.
Yeah, the dead guy or one of the dead guys. Do they have like communicators on them?
Yeah.
I'm snatching out one of them.
Sure thing. It's just like a kind of handheld walkie-talkie thing.
Yeah, what I want to do is actually open Killbot up, put it inside, and kind of wire it into him with the commands, to.
Did you just open me up and wire something into me?
All right.
Oh shit! Sorry, I forgot to ask consent.
Yeah.
Killbot consents.
Did you just assume my protocols?
I should have published my report.
Okay, let's have an intellect roll then.
Killbot likes it when you touch him there.
That tickles.
Killbot's like leg just starts going like a dog.
Tug a little harder.
5.
Yeah, all right, that works. You're a pretty sort of practiced hand at fucking around with this sort of technology, so yeah, I'll say that works.
See Nomad watching you when you do this, Perry. He'll walk over to this bot that's on the ground and give it a bit of a kick with his boot. Look over at you. They'll be coming for that. Can you wire it to explode? We have shock batons.
Oh, I like the way you think.
I like bloodshed.
So do I.
Killbot is equipped with 4 grenades. One could be applied to said robot.
I like the way you process.
All right.
Killbot blushes.
All right. Yeah.
I did put that command in him. He had that already.
He's learning. All right. Let's have a intellect roll again, then, please, Monsieur Chekhov.
And I'll get rid of one of my grenades. You said I have 4, right?
Yeah, 4 nades.
That's a 6 this time.
Yep, that works. All right. So, how are you rigging it? Is it a timer? Is it a
Proximity alert. Yeah.
What's your plan?
My plan is for one of these dead bodies, basically use to cover the device, so that as soon as they lift it.
Oh, like a kind of dead man switch with a
Yep.
body. Okay, yeah.
A literal dead man switch, yes.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, definitely. So it's sort of, you have it kind of balanced, so like almost like a mousetrap sort of thing. So when the body's lifted, it just. All right.
Yeah, so when the body's lifted, a ball falls down, rolls down this tube, hits dominoes.
Yeah, that was something to say. There's like a little racing car that goes around a track. All right, so where are you guys going now? So I imagine your plan is sort of escape. Maybe so you'd know that the hangar is sort of to the east of where you are. The kind of town center is to the west, and you could go, you know, the bakery is by this sort of line. The bakery would be on your kind of south back, and north of you is just sort of like this shanty town where most of the people lived before the kind of purging type thing. So where would you guys be planning on going?
Are they loading everybody onto the Ark? Like regular citizen people as well as the cult, or is it just the cults on there now? Get ready to.
No, it's everyone. So like, if you're not
So people
in
are
the
being
cult,
forced on.
yeah. If you're not in the cult, they're like, well, that's just a misguided soul.
Okay.
So they're that like that's what they were doing to that woman, is they're beating the shit out of her and then dragging her off.
Does it look like a lot of other people don't want to go? Like, is that?
Oh no, yeah, no one wants to go. Literally, like the Ark, or the way they've been running it, you'd imagine the Ark is like everyone gets shoved into a room, you know, fed a piece of bread a day and isn't allowed to talk, you know, that sort of thing.
How many cult personality? I'm sorry, Morgan. How many cult members are on the station?
There's at least a couple thousand.
Okay, more than we can kill today.
And the station's got like 5,000 people, and maybe 1,500, 2,000 of those are cultists.
Okay, got it.
So they're in the minority, but they are better armed than your average Joe.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, but the way you've been,
over at Perry.
the way No Man's been rolling, he'll just take them all down one at a time.
Look over at Perry, Killbot. Would you boys like to blow up an Ark?
I thought you'd never ask.
Killbot approves this course of action.
Well, then I think we have a goal.
Awesome.
I'll be happy to kill anybody in our way.
So the Ark is kind of where the hangar would be. The Ark is like in a new hangar that they've built next to it. So sort of to get to it, you have to go to the hangar, which you'd imagine is sort of heavily guarded. Plus the Ark itself is obviously going to have, you know, be full of the cultists. So you have a few options of getting there. You can sort of go through the back alleys, try and get there. That'll take longer. And, you know, there's people still patrolling them, trying to find everyone. You can go just up the main road, and you have, you know, no idea.
Do I have any data that's maybe in my like ancient memory from before I was awoken again by Perry that might give us back channels to get there, vulnerabilities in the ship, vulnerabilities in the docking bay, places where you could put a bomb or put a device to deactivate stuff or whatever?
Do you have the plans to the Death Star?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's kind of what I'm getting at here, yeah.
You have a map of Karatus sort of programmed in. And imagine maybe you can sort of project that if you want.
Sure.
As for knowing how to blow up the ship, I would say you probably wouldn't know, like the specifics. But, you know, it's a big ship and there's big engines on this side. So, you know.
That's what Perry's for.
Perry, yeah, would 100% be like, oh, this is where we should stick the bomb, right next to the, you know, reactor that would blow it up kind of thing.
So yeah, Killbot will project the map and
So yeah, or you
Input
can
requested from Administrator Perry.
yeah, so you can go kind of through the back alleys, or maybe pick your way through different buildings, so you got places to hide, or go up the main street, or figure something else out.
I think we should go right down the street. If anybody asks, we're going to the ship. That's what they want, right?
It is probable that cult personnel have identified your faces.
Yeah. I just have to kill them once.
I concur. So down the street then? Brazen as you please.
So that movie montage moment, the slow motion.
Yeah. It's,
Dun, 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 dun.
yeah, it's gonna be something like some AC/DC song playing in the background, slow motion.
Oh, I was picturing like Terminator music, but I guess
Oh,
they
yeah,
should
that
like
too.
this as well.
But I was thinking, or maybe it's like you guys are walking, camera sort of panning. The boys are back in town. Boys are back.
It's the
No,
final countdown.
Come on, lads,
So many-
I think
so many
the
songs.
song that's playing.
Which one?
Come on, don't stop believing.
Yeah, sure. I feel like we could go for a deeper journey cut, though.
Uh,
All right. Well, before this goes any fucking further,
I was about to go into like some Boston jokes. You guys like Boston?
no idea.
That's where I was headed to.
Okay. So, heading up the street, you guys could just walk right in the middle, or there's like buildings, and shop fronts sort of lining the street. So you could, if you wanted, sort of run between those. However you kind of choose to do it.
Nomad walks along the side of the streets and the sidewalk. He likes to window shop.
Just
More
like
sensitive side.
walking past, like,
I imagine there's a lot of abandoned shops.
yeah, like this pretty much looks like the apocalypse type thing right now. Is really sort of like everywhere is sort of destroyed at this point because people are looting and everything. So you're walking up the street, and in the distance you see a group, you can't really tell how many, of the blue robe guys coming towards you again. How are you kind of walking up the street?
Killbot is attempting to resist the urge to arrest everybody for law breaking. Literally everyone is breaking a law, and it's really hard on him.
Yeah.
But other than that, he's waiting for Perry to tell him what to do.
Yeah, Nomad's just window shopping as he walks.
Yeah, and you
Smile
see
on his face.
they're sort of on the other side of the street to you guys. And sort of the one in front sort of points off to one side, and 3 or 4 guys sort of run into a shop. You see them kind of dragging out this family, and sort of pushing them forwards with their bats and sort of heading back the way they were coming. And they sort of do this with every building down the street. And then sort of when you get a bit closer, they sort of just point at you, and they all start sort of quickly walking towards you.
Permission to vaporize.
looks around for a moment. Up and down the street. Looks at Nomad. Raises an eyebrow.
I'd be happy to kill them all, but 4 against 1 is bad odds. I think a few vaporized ones would be just fine.
It's good. Vaporize.
So just to be clear, there's like maybe 10 of these guys.
I mean, I just got permission to vaporize, so.
That was information you should have already had. Apologies. Would you like to continue with this course of action?
Knowing what you know now, would you still have given permission to vaporize? I guess
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Do you want to wreck on
No,
this?
but I full-heartedly would like to kill them all. So, but he just looks to Perry. I mean, it's his robot.
Yeah, when that administrator privileges window pops up, yes.
Do not ask me again. Yes.
Can I, since they're walking towards me, can I maybe get off 2 grenade rounds?
You can get off one, and then we'll see how they react. See if you can get another one off, because they'll scatter probably if you hit them. So you might not get all of them. So sort of see how that goes. So yeah, you can definitely shoot a grenade.
So he's going to try to get it. So is it an impact grenade, like it hits and explodes, or is it bounce, explode?
It's whatever you want it to be.
Impact's probably easier, mechanical purposes. So yeah, just lob a grenade into their midst.
So make a ranged attack check.
Okay, I'm gonna switch up my die. There you go. That's an 8.
Okay, so this lands basically at the feet of the guy right in front and just blows him away. And
there's a radial thing going on too. Right?
Oh yeah. So
yeah, cool.
Everyone's in close quarters to this. So you get 8 of them are just dead.
Fucking A.
The other 2
don't fuck with Killbot.
Get blown back, and you see kind of one spinning through the air, and the star on his back is red. And he kind of lands, and he's clutching his head, and it's ringing. And you see 2 drones kind of flying down the street again, and sort of as the rubble's clearing, you see more people sort of running to the street to see what's happening. And you see a sort of vaguely blue kind of amorphous shape right down the end of the road, sort of running this way. And these guys start getting back to their feet. What would you like to do?
Are they like human otherwise? They're just cultists, right?
Yeah, these are just dudes.
All right. So the one with this robes, are they all wearing robes?
They're all wearing these sort of blue robes with all white stars on the back, except one of them who's got a red one.
Nomad would be running towards this one with the red star. You can see his wrist snap out as this baton comes out. Yeah, he's just running towards him to.
Cool. So you can get up to them next turn to hit.
Okay.
Pretty much. And they're sort of just getting to their feet, and sort of as he does, he pulls out one of the communicators, the same one as checks out, and he's just speaking into it. And then we will. In fact, now we won't bother with initiative because I'm sure this will be over quite quickly. So, Nomad, what would you like to do?
Yeah, he's just gonna run up, plant his foot on the chest of this guy, and just bash him with his baton. So,
as you sort of got your foot on him, he's got no eyebrows. His face is like burnt here, and he the skin is kind of molded over one side of his mouth. And he just starts like wheezing, laughing, and just says, "You can't stop it," as you're kind of choking him out with your foot.
Just let out a bit of a giggle. I do turn back towards where Perry and Killbot are, motion up towards where these drones are. Just yell out, "Take out these drones. I got an idea." Hey, do you want me to roll?
What are you doing? Are you just...
I was just going to crack this guy in the head with my baton.
Yeah. Make a roll.
It's a 13 again.
Yep. This guy no longer has the middle section of his head.
Yep. I give him a couple quick bashes in the head. Once his body goes limp, I reach down, pull off this robe, and then look for another one that has halfway decent looking robe and start moving towards them.
Cool. So while you're doing that, you see the 2 drones coming overhead, and you see the sort of another group, sort of similar size, running this way as well, from up the street. What would you like to do, Perry?
I'd like to pot shot one of these drones.
Go for it.
A laser pistol. Oh, I've just dropped my die. Nope, that's a 1.
Yeah, your shot goes wide. A space bird dies. Yeah, and so I'm assuming Killbot, you're going to do the same.
Yeah, I'll shoot through the drone.
Sure, make a roll, please.
Oop, that is super cocked. That's a 5.
No, that misses as well. So these drones, I guess, are a little bit higher up. And you see sort of this other group running towards you, and a few of them have sort of these communicators out and are speaking into them. And sort of in a few seconds, you see four more drones flying kind of over the top of the sort of thing, but they're sort of in the shape of a T. If these drones are sort of flat like this, these ones have a kind of bit hanging down like that, and they're flying over the top.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear a sort of scuffle behind you, and a man pops out of a shop next to you. It's got some kind of tattered bits of cloth in the window, and he just beckons you towards him.
Who's up?
We're not an initiative, so anyone can.
Oh, okay, fine. Do I have like a record of who this guy is in my files? Like a citizen dossier?
Yeah, maybe you don't, because sort of a lot of that was kind of lost in the thing. So you don't have, a record of everyone.
Okay.
But you do recognize that this guy isn't wearing cult robes.
Well, Killbot is holding down the fort until someone tells him to go elsewhere.
No badge, just run into whatever one of these other guys that was blowing up that has a halfway decent looking robe, grabbing that, and assuming he sees this guy in the shop as well, we'll just make a beeline right towards him.
Cool. Perry?
Ah, damn it, I was muted.
Yeah.
At least once a game that's going to happen. Yeah, as soon as he starts beckoning, it's kind of like a bit busy here, old timer.
And he just keeps waving, and then starts kind of quickly walking back to the back of the building, out of sight.
Peer around at this the amount of drones and people we've got running towards us, and probably think it's a good idea. Maybe we've bit off more than we can chew. So, Nomad, time to skedaddle. Come on, Killbot.
So you guys run in.
Would I be going past that other one guy that was still left alive by any chance?
You would, but he is playing dead at the moment. So if you want to figure out which one he is, you can stop and make a perception check.
Nah, if he looks dead, then I would assume he's dead, so I wouldn't bother.
All right, so you guys run in. You see this is sort of as you enter, you see it's kind of an old casino.
Killbot is still outside. I was planning on doing one more thing, if that's okay.
Oh yeah, sorry, mate.
That's all right. Can I take one last shot of the last drone that's hanging in the air?
There's two still. Both of you missed.
Two
so,
drones.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, yeah, he'll fire at one drone and then go inside.
Cool.
Natural one, so nothing.
These drones are invincible, apparently. Yeah. So you run into this room, into this building, and you see it's sort of an old casino. There's like upturned tables and chips everywhere. And you see the guy just running to the back door, or a sort of door to a back room, as it were. There's in this building, there's sort of a bar off to one side. Most of the alcohol in there's just been smashed with the bats and that kind of thing. And there's, as I said, upturned tables, playing cards, poker chips, all that kind of thing, just everywhere. As you run through, does anyone want to do anything or grab anything as they're going through?
No, but I will, once we're all inside, throw one of my smoke bomb pellets back towards the door.
Cool. All right. So it just like and just slowly starts filling with this black smoke. You guys run in, and you hear kind of the sound behind you of like a drone sort of lowering, like a sort of thing. And you kind of enter the back room, and you see the guys sort of opening this trap door in the floor, and it's like pulling it up, but it's really heavy. But he's sort of almost getting there.
Being the Killbot was outside, Nomad would run over and give him a hand, lifting this thing up.
Cool. And you see that kind of folded behind it is like the same kind of red carpet, as if like someone's kind of peeled away like a section of carpet, which will fall back on top when the trapdoor's closed. And he just climbs down the ladder inside.
I'll hold it open. Barry, Killbot.
Killbot follows after Perry.
Do that thing where you grab on the ladder, put your feet out, and just whee.
Oh, nice.
Killbot tries the same thing, breaks the ladder.
Yeah.
I still gotta get down there.
Holds onto it and the ladder rolls down. All right, but we'll say everyone
Killbot
gets
lands on his back and can't get up.
It's like a beetle.
Killbot
We'll say,
has lost functionality.
for the sake of the story, that you'll make it down the ladder. The trapdoor closes and the carpet rolls back over, and you sort of find yourself in what is pretty much an old, like, backroom mafia style casino where it's just got one table and like one bar. And you see there's a body of a dead woman in, like, sort of she's very scantily clad, and she's just lying over the top of the bar. But the blood around her is dry, and there's sort of a not very pleasant smell coming off of her. And you see that sort of the people, or the room apart from that, is pretty pristine, apart from a few kind of bullet holes and scorch marks sort of all over the place. And there's a kind of another back door, and he's sort of heading through it, and he says, "Come on, this way."
Where are you taking us?
Just away from them, and sort of nods up to the ceiling.
Raise my eyebrow a bit. Look over at Perry. Killbot.
Do I know where we are on the map? So you
Um,
said I have a map of the station. So I mean,
yeah, so it sort of looks as though you're traveling like through buildings on the map, because it's sort of from above. So that this area is not mapped, and probably would have been illegal to build.
Okay. Well, Killbot will mention that. Administrator Perry, these passages appear to be not on station official maps. They are likely smuggling tunnels. Could be useful in current mission.
How fortuitous for us.
Fortune is a human construct.
Fantastic. All right, so he sort of goes into this room, and it's an office, kind of just in the back. There's like an old sort of money counter thing, you know, there's sort of machines where you put a stack of money in, and it and there's a still smoking cigar, which he kind of picks up, puts in his mouth, and you see he's sort of dressed in this he's got kind of suit trousers on and this sort of short sleeve shirt with this kind of like really boring, like squared, sort of like a maths book pattern, if you know what I mean, the sort of graph paper squares. And he just turns around and he says, "You guys are fucking idiots."
Hostility detected.
I mean, I would like a second opinion on that.
And he just like looks at you dumbfounded and says, "What the hell were you thinking? They are killing and dragging away people out there, and you just, oh god!" And he just like rubs his face. He's sweating loads, and he just like takes a huge drag on his cigar.
Well, they say a good defense is a good offense.
You really are convinced that you're doing the right thing, aren't you?
I just like to watch heads split.
And he sort of points his cigar at you, and kind of ash sort of flicks towards you, and he says, "Stay away from me." And he sort of like takes sort of a step to the side. And she says, "Look, I'm going to hide out down here until that fucking thing leaves, and then I'll find some other way off. But whatever you guys want to do is up to you. I just thought I'd give you the option, seeing as I have no idea how to pilot a ship to get off of here. So maybe if one of you guys could help me out in that front, we could all escape together."
Has this guy identified himself yet?
Nope.
Yeah, so if we're idiots, you've just helped a bunch of idiots, which makes you a really big idiot. Why should we trust you?
You
That
have
was
no
Obi-Wan
reason to.
logic.
I just saved you from oncoming destruction.
I could have taken him.
Fine. Go back out and take them, as you say. I don't care. I just thought maybe I'll give you the chance. And you sort of see that he's got a CCTV sort of screen rigged up, looking out kind of from the back of the casino out to the front. So he's clearly just watched you like decimate this group of cultists.
How many people are in the room with us?
It's just him.
Do I get the sense that these underground passages that we're in could run beyond this
No,
location?
it's
I mean,
just these two rooms.
just these two rooms. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
I'll toss that extra robe I got over to Perry. Put the one that I had with the red star on. This is being that we didn't take out the drones, they might recognize us, but I figure we have these as backup disguise if we need to. Pretend that we're injured. I'm a bit bloodied.
I can see
My
that.
blood.
Well, I don't know if that's better or worse, to be honest. But look, if we just wait, these assholes are going to leave, and then we can just go.
What about all the rest of the people?
I mean,
Watch what you say.
Protection of citizens is Killbot's primary functionality. It would be immoral to leave at this juncture.
wow. And he sort of is lost for words, like, you know, he's just done these people. He's just saved these people's lives, and they're complete assholes to him, you know? He's like, look, I don't care what you do. I just thought I'd give you the option. If you want to go and be heroes and die, go for it. Please go for it. But if you want to survive this, wait here with me. No one knows this place exists. You know, the only way they could get in is if they find the hatch. And, you know, it's been pretty well hidden up to now, so.
Killbot's going to think or like send a message through the comm link that he has. This citizen is in violation of several station rules. Should I annihilate him?
No.
Powering down Gatling laser.
What? What?
He doesn't say this like super out loud. I imagine it's like almost like a telepathic thing.
Yeah. It's either like that or like checks his thing as a loudspeaker.
Right.
Yeah,
maybe.
no.
Being super subtle. And, it's just like,
Oh, that's even better.
and he just like starts backing up. Hey, look, I'm trying to help you here, okay?
No. You're trying to help yourself. We need to get to the Ark. We get things to do. People to save. Revenge to be had.
Jeez. Okay.
How can we get to the Ark? Quickest route possible.
The quickest route possible. The fucking street you were on. Go.
Works for me.
Run through the thousands of those brothers bastards.
Citizen, do you have alternative?
And he sort of
Objective is acquisition and destruction of Ark. Can citizen assist?
And he sort of like looks around and says, I guess. I mean, if you're really hell bent on doing this, you know, I can show you a back way, and you know, a back alley route, get you there. Maybe not quite as quick as going the main road, but well, you might survive it. As for blowing it up, I don't know how you plan to do that, but well, I know someone who might be able to help you if he's still alive.
Killbot says, lie detector mode active, and he's going to try to bluff. and just put his like laser eyes, like scan the guy up and down. It's not doing anything, but I'm trying to make him think that I'm scanning for lies.
Okay, let me see.
Putting you on the spot there, bud.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. So he does, and he says, "Hey, I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. I promise. I swear. I know a guy." And he's like just not taking his eyes off you because you're freaking him out. Giant robot murderous thing. And actually, this room is probably a little bit less tall than you are, so you're sort of stooped.
Right. I imagine like his neck just compresses.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so he's sort of kind of still got his hands up, smoking a cigar in one finger. He says, "Look, I know a guy. All right. His name is Deus, and he has, you know, a background in this sort of sabotage shit. I helped him out with a laundering scheme a while ago. He owes me a favor. If you guys leave me alone and don't kill me, I'll put you in touch with him. All right? He's a wily guy. He's probably still around, and if anyone could blow up a ship, he can."
As this man's been talking, Nomad takes a few side steps, slowly kind of walking up beside him. So as he finishes his sentence, I'll reach out, pluck that cigar, wipe it off on my leg a little bit, put it in my mouth. Thanks.
And he just nods.
Killbot makes a mental log of this man's face and the numerous crimes he's committed, including money
So I
laundering.
could come back and obliterate him after.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right. So what would you guys do with this offer of help?
Well, why don't you lead the way, Mr. What's your name?
My name, Arnold.
Mr. Arnold.
Lie detected. Lie detected.
No, my name's Arnold. And he just like has no idea.
Killbot, if he's lying, you can kill him. I'll let you have this one.
And he just like starts backing up. He's like, I'm helping you. My name is Arnold.
Whoa, down there, boy. Down, boy. Easy, Killbot. That's a good Killbot.
Well then, Arnold, why don't you lead the way?
So he goes over to a wall, sort of like, oh god. And there's a picture on the wall. Moves it aside. There's a safe, and he kind of twists it, opens it, and there's another safe. And he twists that one, but this one has like a really long combination, and then he pushes in the sort of whatever it's called, the twister thing, and you see there's a kind of screen on the top, and it says sort of keyboard system comes out. You can tell it's some sort of communication thing disguised as a safe, and he starts typing out a message. And then he sort of waits and he says, "Okay, look, told him that I have an opportunity for him and that he should meet me here. Okay, so let's just stay calm." And he just looks at the robot and wait, and he'll be here soon. Okay, he's never late. And so you kind of wait around maybe half an hour. What would you guys do?
I assume this guy has a box of cigars somewhere, so one goes in my pocket and the other one gets lit.
Yeah, so I guess the cigars are in a drawer, so I assume maybe you ask, or maybe you just start looking through drawers or whatever. But
Yeah,
you come across them. He doesn't he's just take them all, please. It's bad for you. I don't want them anymore.
Killbot mentions to. Oh, sorry, man. Go ahead.
I'm done.
Killbot mentions to Administrator Perry, Killbot is low on ammunition. Grenades should be acquired immediately.
And he just like gives you a look like, what the fuck, grenades?
Don't know. Hold on. I think I've got an idea. I'm gonna scuttle back out the room, back up the ladder, if it's still there.
Yeah.
pop my head out underneath the trapdoor, see if anyone's about.
You see a drone in the street passing by.
Okay, I'll be quick about this. I'm going to grab as many poker chips as I possibly can. I'm going to grab a couple of just pieces of debris about this casino, metal and things. And I'm going to bring it all back down with me, and I'm basically going to construct shrapnel grenades made out of poker chips.
Fucking awesome.
Um,
Oh man,
right.
I was just transported to Fallout 3 for a minute.
yeah. Okay. Because it's an awesome idea. 100%. Let's give me an intellect roll there.
7.
Hells yeah. All right. You make 3 of them.
Dope.
Awesome. Okay. I'm assuming you're giving those to Killbot.
Yeah.
That's insane, by the way, and amazing.
Poker chip grenades. Love it.
Okay. What are the other 2 of you doing just while we're here?
Nomad would be shuffling through a few drawers here, find out one of these poker decks, or one of these card decks, or whatever. Take a seat at this table, lay out 7 rows, and start playing solitaire, keeping one eye on Arnold.
Yeah, defo. You lose.
He cheats when he loses.
Cheat in solitaire. All right, perfect. And so half an hour comes and goes. An hour comes and goes. Arnold is sort of saying things like, he should be here by now. I don't know. Maybe he's injured. He should be here.
That don't bode well for you, does it, Arnold?
Cartoon like. And then eventually footsteps can be heard upstairs. You hear the sort of trapdoor, the kind of lock on it being twisted. What would you like to do?
Killbot goes into defensive mode. He pops out his grenade launcher, heats up his Gatling gun, and is just pointing it at the door.
All right. You hear it open. You hear like someone coming down steps, and kind of coming around the corner into view comes this very short man, possibly under 5 feet tall, like really short, scruffy as all hell, wearing a sort of brown leather jacket. One of them, but it only has like half a sleeve on one side. He just has wild kind of hair and beard. He looks like he's covered in soot and dirt, and just all his clothes are sort of slightly yellowed and disgusting. He looks just like your kind of typical homeless guy. He's got, maybe 4 teeth. He just enters. And he sort of sees the robot and he says, whoa, what's going on? And as he says that, sort of Arnold comes running through into the room.
Somebody hitting a timpani or something? What is that?
I can't hear anything.
You don't hear it? It sounds like someone's hitting like a water drum.
I think it's Rob's microphone. I think he's...
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, it's...
Oh, right.
It sounds like the pop filter thing, the metal bit.
This bit.
There it is.
Oh,
Sounds awesome, actually. It's really bassy.
Yeah,
and
it's the spring on the side of...
yep, that's exactly what it sounds like.
I accidentally kicked the shelf it's attached to and it bashed it.
It sounds like the beginning of... it's very dramatic. It sounds like the beginning of Conan the Barbarian.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dum, dum, dum.
Awesome. I'll keep that in mind. Maybe next time I'll do...
Work it in.
Yeah. All right. Well...
Oh, God. Cthulhu's coming. Oh,
yeah. Where was... Okay, so Arnold runs into the room and says, "Whoa, Deus, good to see you. These guys have a business deal for you." And the man called Deus says, Ryan, good to see you.
I wouldn't call it a business deal.
Wait a minute. I thought you said your name was Arnold.
Arnold's my surname. And Dare says, no, it's not. Smith's your surname.
No, he's a liar.
Arnold gives him like a, what the fuck, dude? Kind of look.
Killbot's eyes glow and point towards Arnold.
Oh, no. No, you've done it.
And he says, no, I just, it was because I didn't trust you. I didn't know who you were. I didn't know if you had some kind of database thing going on or what. I just wanted to make sure. And he just starts like babbling nonsense.
Well, we don't need Arnold anymore, do we? I mean, we got his friend. That's what we were here for. So, I mean,
and
right.
Deus, the guy, is just like standing with his arms crossed, like looking confused. He says, Brian, why did you tell them your name was Arnold? And he just like carries on going. He's like, your name is Ryan, right? And he says, yeah, my name is Ryan Arnold. And he said, do you mean Smith? Yeah, Ryan Smith. What would you guys like to do?
So this is the guy that's going to help us blow stuff up, right?
Yeah, so Deus is the guy who's going to help you.
Right.
And whatever the other guy's name is.
I'd like to take several steps away from this Ryan Smith Arnold, whatever his name may be. Several steps away, just in case Killbot goes off.
Yeah. And he says, look, I'm being totally honest. This guy, Deus, he can help you. And I said, why are you bringing me into this?
He's right. We do have a kind of business deal for you. See, killing is our business, and business is about to be very, very good.
All citizens must comply with Administrator Perry in emergency situations.
I'd listen to him. So you're going to help us create a big explosion.
And you see his mouth sort of like, he's kind of looking confused, and then he sort of like turns into a big smile. That's my kind of business, he says.
I like this guy.
Well, what are you blowing up?
The Ark.
And he just kind of gives you a look for a second, like, oh shit. And then he kind of like takes a couple steps forward and pulls up a chair, spins it round the wrong way, sits on it, rests his arms. Now that is an interesting proposition. Why don't you tell me about it? Struck dumb, are we?
Give someone else a chance to speak, but
Nomad just looks at you.
And the, I guess that's the
Sorry.
theme, I guess that's the theme tune. This episode's over.
I set the alarm on Killbot. I forgot.
Oh shit! I forgot my eggs are done. What are you doing then, Perry? What are you saying?
Yeah, Nomad just looks over at you, Perry. He don't really know anything about blowing stuff up. He just likes to kill people.
Well, we need a way onto the Ark, preferably somewhere quick, quiet, and then we know where to go for maximum effect. And you will be our maximum effect with your knowledge.
Interesting. So, blowing up the Ark. Ark is nuclear, right? So, all we got to do is offset the fission, and well, things should get pretty unstable pretty quickly. So, to be honest, the easiest way to do that, some sort of EMP type deal. Just cut it out for a second. The whole process is screwed. Not a great way to build a spaceship, honestly.
There's always a flaw in the design.
Yeah, this
Does
is a
that
pretty big one.
give us a chance to get away and the people that are on there?
If you and he sort of like sees trying to work it out, he says, well, we could rig a timer, focus the blast, yeah, maybe 10 minutes to escape.
What do you think, Nomad?
Well, hate to see so many people die. If we can't get it off in time. I don't see any other choice, though. I mean, we can't be running around like chickens down there. I'm sure a lot of people are already on there. Perhaps create a riot or create some sort of distraction to get people off quicker.
Should I shoot something? Sorry about that. I got a phone call.
No worries, man. Just talking about the plan. So they're thinking, they think basically it'll just take like a small sort of EMP to offset the nuclear reactor and blow the whole thing up. And they're talking about rigging a timer for maybe 10 minutes so that everyone can escape. But they're trying to see how they can get everyone off.
Do we have an EMP device?
And, well, Deus can hook you up. This
okay.
kind of his deal.
I see.
Okay, so we just need a way to get everybody off the ship in 10 minutes or less.
Are there any still operational killbots that are either being used by the cult or by the real station government? Or
Oh, hells yeah.
Yeah?
Hells yeah.
I could pose as one of those and then to start just declaring like an emergency and make people evacuate the ship.
Oh.
Can you hack into more of these things, Perry? Maybe not even if they're helping us, but somehow change to go along with this.
Yeah.
We don't want them to out our killbot. Your killbot.
Your Trojan horse.
Well, I mean, that sort of side of it's up to you. The EMP, I can deal with. The rest, getting people off, that's up to you. The other thing I would say, though, you blow up the Ark while it's docked to the station. Chances are good that most of the station's going to go up as well.
And if we're
Can
evacuating
kill
most of the people, wouldn't most of the Blue Oyster bastards try to get off too? I mean, I want to kill as many of them as possible.
That's up to you guys to figure out.
So Killbot's going to examine the map he has in his head. Is there a place where we could place an explosive or an EMP that is on the station that would disable the docking area, right? Like, so the clamps that hold the ship in place would malfunction.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying? So instead of blowing up the ship, we disable the ship's ability to go anywhere.
Okay, potentially, although that's more of Deus's field of expertise. So you can see where the clamps are, but this ship is like, maybe half a mile long. So there'd be some distance between each of the clamps. But potentially, yeah, I mean, it's up to you if you want to bring that up or not.
He'll use his comlink to parry it to suggest it.
Sure.
Cocking his head while this information gets relayed. So it gives us a good chance to survive.
What?
Okay, Killbot's got an idea. The docking system.
And he sort of leans back in his chair, but then he realizes it hasn't got a back on it, so sort of, and sits forward again, sort of, sort of wry grin. Okay. Disabled the clamps. Ship falls into a spin. Good work. Good work. Problem is, you still got to get all the people off and the docking areas where all of the Blue Oyster guys are. So you still have all the same problem.
Leave that to us.
Yeah, we can just go in and pull the fire alarm.
I sense a Wookiee prisoner routine coming on.
Hails you. All right. All right, guys. Well, why don't we take our little break here?
Sounds
Give you
good.
guys a moment to sort of figure out what you're gonna do. See you in a few. Oh man. Cy Morgan, first ever Journey game and first ever game run by me. Both as bad as you thought.
Not quite as bad as I thought.
Good, good, good.
Nah. Fun. I could pretty much when you're setting up like the DCs for checks making a grenade, you just kind of come up with whatever works for the moment, right? Basically.
Yeah. Which was originally something that people were sort of, or not people, I say with that, one person said, I don't really get this. And I said, well, basically, for me, it's whatever feels right. So like, you know, if someone tries to do something, like the problem is with Journey is there's 4 stats, or it's not a problem, it's a challenge, shall we say. There's 4 stats. So certain things might not be well covered by those stats. initially. So like, if someone
I
makes,
can see like your charisma stuff not fitting in there.
yeah, there's no charisma
I
stuff.
remember we talked about that one day. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, that's just because I hate, you know, intimidation checks and all that sort of thing.
Mhm.
Well, I don't hate them. I just think, whatever.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
So like,
The plot in their execution.
yeah. So like, if you're trying to intimidate someone in Journey, what do you say? And then I think, right, this character, you know, this guy's a weakling. How would he react? You know, it's not numerical. So like, you know, the problem it comes with like bluffing. So Killbot tried to bluff the guy. So I was like, okay, well, the guy's gonna make an intellect check, but you know, Killbot's bluff was pretty good because he had the flashing lights and everything. So the guy ended up having a -2 on it because he's really dumb anyway.
Oh, yeah, I could see that definitely being a save in that case. Then, yeah.
Yeah. So he makes this intellect check to try and sort of see through the bluff, fails, and so the bluff works.
Mhm.
So you can sort of, I think Journey is sort of, it's meant for people who've played and ran games
Right.
before, because
When it comes to like D&D and stuff, I always make up a DC on the
exactly like
99% of the time.
I mean, it's the system is born out of how I run games, which is most of the time just pulling the numbers and that kind of thing, you know, from nowhere. I mean, I do have sort of stats and that kind of thing written down, but a lot of that is guideline. Like, the thing is like, Killbot has grenades. I was like, all right, I feel like a grenade would do, you know, more than just a standard attack and damage. So it's going to do, you know, if you throw a grenade at someone, it's just going to obliterate them. So I got him to throw, you know, chuck the grenade, make a check, see if he managed to land it. And then the guys, where the grenade landed, the guys were just obliterated, you know.
Right.
But I rolled to see how many of them survived. 2 of them survived, sort of thing. So, and I think sort of GMs and DMs sort of, when they start, a lot of the time they're really kind of freaked out by the way, you know, they're like, how do I know how all the numbers work, and what if I get a check wrong and all that sort of thing. And then as you go on, you realize like, actually, you know, most of the time you just make it up as you go along anyway. Like that was the case for me. Like the first game around was from a module. It was like someone did something, I was like, oh god, I can't find it in the rules. But now I'm just like, you know, I barely sort of, or I use the rules very little, which is sort of why the system is the way it is. So like, you know, if you're trying to climb a building, I'll be like, it sounds like brawn to me, so roll brawn, you know. Or if you're trying to, you know, whatever, I can sort of generally figure out what it is, you know. And like a lot of the sort of choices in there that I made with like not having charisma and that sort of thing are based around that. Well, like,
so with your lesson effects, do you plan to have that so that they can tie into stats? Like,
oh hell yeah! So
like, so it's -1 brawn. Or something.
Yeah. So in one of the examples is like if you get a wound, but not like a, you know, stat wound. Like let's say I might describe someone cuts you with a knife, and you know the wound gets cut across your chest. You know, okay, and then you say I'm going to go and rest for the night. I'm like, okay. They didn't say they were going to clean the wound or anything, so the wound's just sitting there. So maybe the wound festers. So I might say, you know, if the wound becomes infected or whatever, I say, okay, you've got the lasting effect, infected wound, and you're going to have, you know, -1 brawn or whatever it might be. I think that's the exact example I give in the book, where, you know,
Yeah, I remember reading.
you haven't cared for it properly, and that's the other thing about it is balance. Which was something that I found sort of a bit, I was like, oh wow, I might have messed this up actually. And then I sort of realized that I hadn't, which is like, what's your wound limit, Morgan? You've got a really strong character.
Yeah, 8.
8, right. So that means it'll take 8 hits to drop you.
Mhm.
These guys you're fighting generally have like 1 or 2, right? So you're just 2-hitting these guys. So it seems like you're going to win every time. But to regain a wound, a short rest basically is 8 hours, one night's sleep, and that heals you one, and you are healed fully by the end of a week's rest. So like if you're playing, say, a 3-session kind of mini campaign, and someone goes down to one wound, that person is like walking on thin ice until they've had like a week's rest, you know. So
you set it up for I remember reading it somewhere for leveling up too, didn't you? Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Gain 1 additional wound level, 1 point spent attribute. Okay. I was gonna say, I wonder how this would work as a little bit longer campaign type thing.
Yeah. And the sort of thing about it is that there's no abilities. So if you just level up and you just get better and better stats as it sort of went on. But the kind of intention there is if you're doing it as a sort of long thing, you'll be giving them items and that sort of thing. You know, maybe a magic item or sci-fi items or whatever.
I can see lasting effects coming into that too.
That's it. Is lasting effects is like, you know, they can be good and bad. So you might get, you know, the last let's say you're like, okay, you've got a month downtime between these two adventures. What are you doing? And you might be like, okay, I'm going to a swords master, and I'm going to ask him to train me for a month to be better at fighting with swords. And they're like, okay, well, now you've got the lasting effect, you know, sword training or whatever. And so from now on, you've got +2. Or like you might have the last, you know, let's say, you know, you get some divine goddess giving you some magic power. That would be a lasting effect. So you'd be like, I've got the lasting effect, you know, gift of whatever. And so which allows me to do once per round, I can shoot a fireball or whatever sort of thing. So you can sort of do it however you want in that way, and sort of mold it. And then the other thing is like Journey's kind of a framework. So you could be like, okay, I'm going to add, you know, some of the 5e stuff in. So now, like after you've leveled up as a ranger, you're going to get one of these 5e rangers abilities that I've hacked for Journey or something. You know, you kind of stick extra stuff in. Yeah. Or like, I can't remember. I think it was you or Chex was like talking about running a, like usually what was the game you were talking about running at the start with Journey? It's like right at the start, maybe even before we started, you were like, oh yeah, I was thinking about running this and couldn't find
like a Cold War espionage.
Right. So you might be like, for that, you know, that doesn't necessarily fit in with all the stuff in Journey. So you might want to say, change it so that there's a dedicated, you know, slightly different method of sneaking to make it a bit more hands-on than just, you know, a dexterity check or whatever it is. And so you can sort of hack it for that. So the whole point is meant to be hacked. Like the initial draft, just the last thing in written was just like hack the shit out of these rules. But I sort of changed it to make it a little bit better. The one thing I haven't playtested enough that I really want to, and will be the next Journey game, is the magic. Because that's kind of the most out there thing about the system.
Yeah, I remember working with you on it, and I understand what you're going for. But
yeah, well, actually, I think the average person who's read it has, like, a lot of people have spoken to me and said, like, dude, that's actually really cool. Like, but they always say, like, if you have a bad group, I could see it being abused, that kind of thing. And I'm like, that's definitely true. That is 100% true. You know, if you have a really, really difficult player, magic is going to be tough.
Yep.
But on the other side of it is like, you know, if I had an insane player who's really into the role play, that sort of thing, they are going to be like, the magic is going to be an awesome way for them to kind of express themselves, kind of doing, you know, like the way I think I ran a game in it for my brothers, and One of them was playing a magic user, but he decided that he was a pyromancer. So all the magic he did was designed as kind of fire magic, or reskinned almost. So everything he would describe would be fire magic, even though, you know, the effects may have been the same, whatever. And he sort of limited himself that way, which was just awesome. So you can really sort of go whichever way you want with it. But yeah, I think both playtests so far have gone really well. I think I'm liking how it sort of seems like we're, you know, telling a story and the rules are sort of sitting out the way a little bit, which is what I was going for. The other thing that I haven't done is I haven't had anyone die yet, so I need to test that whole system out. Just gonna leave that page bookmarked there for later.
We will find out. Challenge accepted.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how this this next half goes. But yeah. And man, my notes for the session are some of the worst notes I've ever made for a session. I think the worst is definitely Experiment Zero. For the first one, because that is just awful. Like, because I write my notes for me to sort of in the moment know what I'm talking about. I can't go back and look at the notes for that game and know what I'm talking about. I'm like, what? This isn't English. And these ones, I wrote a line and a half for the intro, and I have 9 bullet points that are each less than a line for stuff that could happen. And
Oh, you have that freaking British
word
spelling of defense on here. It's driving me crazy.
Yeah, well, how do you think I feel where every discussion in the OSG armor doesn't have its rightful U in it?
It's not armor, it's armor.
Whatever. God damn it.
Don't be mad because we speak your language better than you do, pal.
Not even going to go there.
I was waiting for
understand what the hell you're saying.
Well, I think it's pretty clear which 2 characters are dying in this game.
We don't know what Czech is saying half the time anyway, so he don't even count.
Yeah, Chex does actually not speak English half the time. You just have to assume. All right, well, it sounds and looks like we're all back. So, we are finishing off the planning with Deus, with Ryan Arnold Smith guy in the back, having dug himself into a bit of a hole.
So Ryan Arnold Smith sounds like a teen heartthrob.
He does a bit,
Yes,
but
he does.
we also don't know if that's his name or not. So, the plan so far, just to sort of remind everyone, is go to the Ark, cause some form of distraction, and maybe drop the Ark off, or maybe just blow it up in situ. What's the decision there? Are you going to try for the clamps, or are you going to try blow it up?
Here's a question I have. Is there any way for Killbot to hardwire himself into the ship itself? If there were no other pilots or computers interfacing with the ship, could he pilot it?
He will be able to make a check with the assist. He will not be able to wire himself, but maybe Perry can wire him into it. I will say.
Could Perry remote control Killbot if Killbot's wired into the ship and basically pilot the ship through Killbot?
Yeah, to a certain range with the headset deal you've got going on.
Killbot just wants to protect the station. He would volunteer to basically, if we could get everybody off, you could pilot him out there and blow it up.
need
Okay.
Save all the innocent people one way or another. My children might be on there. We got to get the people off. I won't do this unless we can get the people off.
Okay, so we storm the Ark, we take it over, we herd everybody out, and plan B is to blow shit up. Is that what I'm hearing?
That sounds pretty good to me. Says
I could go for
Dave.
that.
There's how many cultists guarding this ship that we know of?
Well,
1,000.
yeah, there's a couple
Roughly.
thousand.
So we'd need to think of a distraction of some kind first.
We got to get the people somehow. We got to get people to get off the ship. Be it the cultists. I'll kill every one of them if I have to.
What's the bomb threat protocol for the station?
It's never really come up, but I mean the original, when it was under control of sane people, the original would have been clearing a wide space and evacuating everyone off the station. But as of now, who knows?
What if we intimidate these folk? I mean, they have to have the ship to go to their star and do whatever it is they want to do on their star, be it kill each other or fornicate, but
Only two options.
That's the name of my
There's
next
two
album.
options.
Kill each other or fornicate.
Can we use the ship as weight? I mean, we're going to blow it up anyway, of course, but just to get the people off.
As an ultimatum, you mean?
Yeah. That would mean we get to get into the bridge or
Problem is,
somehow get into it.
there's way more of them than us, so
I have an idea. Our little bomb expert friend here can help us out with a distraction. What we don't need is one big bomb. What we need is quite a lot of several little bombs, like firecrackers going off. And if we can grab one of those drones, we can hack it, steal the footage from Ryan Arnold Smith's CCTV of us outside fighting, wire it up into the drone, put in the coordinates of where we set the charges, send them all in that direction while we sneak in the back door.
You, sir, speak my language.
I don't know what you were talking about, but I'm down.
I don't know what I'm talking about either.
You just tell me who to kill and we'll be all right.
So, let's get this straight. First things first. We need to set, I don't know, maybe 20 charges around the station. Then we got to do the footage, get it sent to them on our drone. And then you guys got to sneak in. Well, and me maybe.
So
And
what do we go and
What do we
set the
do once we
charges?
sneak in? Very well, but what are we doing when we sneak in?
We use Killbot as our Trojan horse. Killbot was part of a major server at one point. All we got to do is plug him back into that server.
Killbot has always wanted to be a horse.
Okay, that'll take me back a bit.
You see Nomad look off into the distance as he thinks about Perry riding atop or Killbot.
Do androids dream of electric horses?
Yeah.
Okay, so Killbot, I'm going to call you Stallion from now on. So Stallion here is going to get plugged back into the server, uploaded with a little present for the rest of the bots on board. And then Killbot will become their supreme leader, which may come back to bite us in the ass.
Does Stallion have glistening haunches?
And a beautiful mane.
God damn.
You pull this off, Killbot, I'll give you a sugar cube.
Killbot preens.
This is getting weird.
Do we need him? Need him with a carrot on a stick?
God
And then once he's got them all under control, and everybody's herded out, we hoof it.
You're such a bastard, man. I love it. All right. So let's see. Okay. So the current sort of goal or the current plan, step one, we need to set the charges. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to set them all alone. But, I mean, I have some ready. And if we just sort of walk in a circle, plant them, prime them for a timer, maybe 10 seconds apart from each other, they'll blow in sequence.
Yeah, if we can make it sound like an exchange of gunfire, all the better. If Nomad, if you would help him out.
He says, look, I am an expert at this. I can make them sound like they're playing the William Tell Overture, for fuck's sake. Okay? Whatever you need, I can do it. I am fully on board.
Okay, maybe in the
Can
future.
you play
I wanna hear
Don't
that.
Stop Believing by Journey?
He just like reaches into his coat, pulls out a stick of dynamite, sets his lighter, just swallows it.
That is Killbot's favorite song.
God damn. There's never going to be a game where that doesn't happen, is there? Not once. All right. So, what would you guys... How are you guys planning on going about doing this? How are you going to get to the charges or the locations?
We can split up if we need to, perhaps. Well, I was thinking Dias and I can take one route, Killbot and Perry, you can take another. Circle around, get in a few fights, kill a few people. Set off an explosion,
Right.
kill a few more.
The goal of these explosions is to disable the docking clamps.
No, the goal of the explosions is to draw guards away
Draw
from
people
the
away.
clamps.
Gotcha.
From the
Okay.
ship.
And then how are we disabling the ship?
You, my friend.
We're going to sneak you on upload
Right.
with a virus,
Okay. Right. Okay.
plug into the server, give you control over a robot army.
Killbot
and
knew
then,
that.
Worship you as a new overlord. I for one, welcome Killbot.
I, for one, welcome our robot overlords. Oh, no. Our new Ant Masters, Kent Brockman, right? Yeah, okay. There it is.
For God's sake. All right. Before there's any more references to pop culture, shall we continue? So, Deus begins like priming and setting the timers on all the explosives, and they all sort of have a switch that you just flick and the timer starts. And so they're all timed to give you enough time to basically get back to a safe distance before they explode, you know? And so you can kind of get away and have them blow up in the sequence. So, are we splitting up or are we going together?
There's a very ancient data file in Killbot's memory that says don't split the party, but he can't recall it.
File missing.
What are we
So
doing,
is
guys?
Is this to actually set the charges?
Yeah.
Yeah, I say we do split the party because Killbot and I need to take down one of these drones, so we can muck about with the footage and send it back, so it looks like it's actually coming from a drone.
Very
Well,
well.
why don't you two go handle the drone part, and this fellow and I and Arnold can set some charges. Right,
I know.
Arnold?
Arnold says, I'm not leaving this place.
Oh,
I'm
you're
staying
leaving,
where it's
Arnold.
safe. No,
Oh, no, you're coming with us, Arnold.
please, no.
You're coming with us, Arnold. I hear you're good at setting charges.
No one's ever said that. I'm not. I'm bad
I'm
with my
saying it.
hands.
Unless you want to argue with me.
No.
Okay, it's settled. So,
So we leave. So if you guys, so we'll start with the charge setters, Nomad, Arnold, and Deus. So you kind of start going in your sequence around. It'll probably take you an hour to set every charge, and then they're sort of remotely the timer started. And while you're doing that, we'll come back to you in a sec. So, how are Perry and Killbot going about taking down a drone?
So what is the kind of average kind of these drones normal kind of scooting about the station?
I mean, there's probably a few hundred of them. So like with every kind of party of like 10, cultists, a drone will be nearby to sort of keep an eye on what's going on. So it's usually quite easy to run into them, but there's usually a group of cultists along for the ride.
Okay.
To sort of accompany one another. Just before we go, one of you please could give me odds or evens.
I'll roll the die. Evens.
Very well. Good to know.
Is it?
Oh, it is.
Good to know, maybe not to experience.
Yes. Well.
Okay. So, so you guys, are you sort of waiting in the casino for a patrol to pass, or are you going sort of more out to find where a patrol might be? Are you hunting or are you trapping?
A little bit of both, I would imagine. If the street looks clear outside and there's no evidence of patrols, then yeah, we'd have to go further afield.
Okay. So you keep walking, and are you trying to find a patrol, or are you trying to find a place to set up and wait for a patrol?
We're in a bit of a rush, so we're probably looking for a patrol,
Okay.
I would imagine.
So sort of, I imagine you kind of dart through the alleys and that kind of thing, and you see another main road parallel to the one you're on, and you can see sort of the hem of some robes kind of just passing your alley. So you pop out behind them, and you hear a drone. The sort of woof, 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 woof.
Is the drone following them? Or is it
Yeah, kind of hovering above.
Killbot, get your net ready.
Oh, I don't think Killbot has a net anymore. I think we got rid of that.
Yeah. Oh, you get rid of that. Oh.
Yeah, sorry. I got grenade launchers though.
I was about
okay. Killbot, get your grenade launcher ready.
Restoring grenade launcher functionality. 3 poker chip grenades on standby.
I'm gonna.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna hit the on switch on my magnetic converse, and I'm gonna attempt to climb up to roughly the drone's height. Then,
all right.
I will do the net.
Give me a brawn check.
Oh shit!
But because you got the things, you can add +3 to it.
Oh well, that makes it +1 then.
Oh god.
6.
Yep, that's fine. You scamper up and you're on top of a building where you can be on top. Sort of, the drones are hovering just below building height. So you being on top of one, you're probably like 2-3 feet above its height.
Wonder if I got. No, I'm gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. I'm gonna have to jump down on the thing.
Hell yeah. All right. What happens?
Before I do jump, call link goes on to Killbot. Have the cultists turn around, you have my permission to execute.exe.
All right.
Accepting command.
Checks. I want you to make your jump.
Dex.
I'll allow it.
7.
You sail through the air and land face down, square on, holding the sides of the drone. It starts swooping around, not used to the calibration. Let's just do a quick perception. You have gone unnoticed somehow. The drone's much higher than they are. For now, anyway.
Okay, with my electric lockpick, I'll try and disable the drone. So it's not
Alright,
walking Bronco with me.
let's have an intellect just to make sure you're jamming it in the right spot.
That's what she said.
Do
There
you?
we go.
5.
Yeah. So you kind of get it in and just what were you trying to do? Just disable the drone?
Yeah, so I'm disabling the drone so I can feed the camera footage that Arnold had
Right.
into its kind of relay. So it's sending back the previous footage of our massacre of the cult members.
So are you trying to hack it while in the air, or are you trying to bring it down so you can hack it and then send it back?
Yeah, pretty much bring it down.
So
I'm good, but I don't think I'm good enough to hack something while it's flying.
right. So jam it in. The thing goes, and Wile E. Coyote falls. I will make you take 1 wound for that, for falling the height of a building. But you have a hard metal object under you, so the fall's broken a little bit. But there is a almighty crash, and 10 cultists turn around.
Is that my trigger to destroy them?
That's what he said.
All right. Can I do like I imagine the grenade, the poker chip grenades are a little weaker. Can I do like a rapid fire thunk, 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 and just do 1, 2, 3 with the poker chip grenades?
Fine. Sure.
And maybe sacrifice some accuracy or something?
Yeah, all right. So you can make 3 range attacks, but yeah, each one will have a -1.
Okay. So I've got a 5, a 4, and a 4.
Okay. So these grenades, one of them doesn't go off.
Okay.
One of the other 2 land and just blow up like right underneath, and you see just bits of poker chip going through people, and like nails and bits of metal and all that sort of thing. And it drops. Okay, 6 of them fall, but there's 4 left.
Right on. Gatling gun out and heating up for the next attack.
Yeah, sure. In fact, I'll say that because they're confused and, you know, this whole shit's gone and you're sort of surprised, I'll let you take 1 more before we do initiative.
Okay.
So you can make your attack.
Prepare to experience total shutdown. How does a 6 suit you?
A 6 is a hit.
Ah, right, cool.
So that guy dies. Okay, so there's 3 left. Now we'll just do a quick initiative with us 3. So Perry and Killbot can I have initiative.
5.
5. Jinx.
All right. So the cultists beat you, so they'll turn around, just see this, and they're going to dart down an alley. They're just all going to run for it. They've seen the footage of you, you know, decimating the people outside the place, and they don't want any part, considering 6 of their friends just died instantaneously. So they're going to go run for it. What would you like to do? Either of you.
I'll fire after anyone that's in range.
Hell yeah. Perry?
I'm going to keep that my task of hacking this drone.
Very well.
I got a 4? No, 6. No, 5, sorry.
No worries. That doesn't hit, I'm afraid. So they just get down the alley and you spray it.
Okay.
Pause there. We see the 3 amigos walking, planting charges as they go every so often, like in different buildings and stuff. You see a patrol kind of passing in front of you, but they don't see you. They're sort of, you're down an alley and they're sort of off away. As you continue, you're gonna need, you come to a road, and the plan, and it's one of the three main roads, which you can see are crawling with cultists. You can see there's one of the groups there, and another group in the distance. And you need to cross to get to the other side. Nomads, what would you like to suggest?
I still have my robe on. They had the red star on it.
Hell yeah.
Blundied up. I'll grab a hold of the back of Ryan Arnold Smith, this heartthrob fellow. And the other guy, kind of like they're my prisoners per se. Just start leading them across. Shove them forward. Let's go, you fools. Don't got time. Need to hurry up and get on the ark.
Jesus. Has he suddenly got an accent?
That's what cultists sound like.
Oh, you're doing an impression.
Yes,
You're kind of right. I thought Morgan had just gone insane.
But that's what he thinks cultists sound like anyway.
Yeah. So, you see these two cultists and they're like, that guy is such a dirk. But yeah, so you just brazenly walk straight across. You see a drone sort of kind of angle in and fly down and sort of scan you a little bit just from a distance. It says, moves on. Just
That's
only
every
scans you.
urge not to give it the finger.
Yeah. And then another one comes in, scans you. Okay. It also then scans the other two. You hear a voice sort of say, "Hi, Arbiter," as it scans you. Then it scans, what was his name? Arnold Smith, or whatever he's currently calling himself. And it says Edgar Tail. And then scans Deus Machina. Carries on. And then you see it sort of stop and turn back around, and a red light starts flashing on it, which is, you've seen before, is conducive to some sort of abnormality in what it's found.
He would carry on for the moment. Just shoving these people forward, getting across the street. Need to hurry up. Ryan Arnold, Juan Smith, whatever the fuck your name is.
And he's just like, yeah, and sort of kind of pushes ahead of you and starts running.
I'll keep a hold of him. I don't want him to run away, so I got a hold of him.
Well, he's struggling. And a cult group walks past and he says, oh, got a live one there, I see.
Little bastards.
Do you want me to smack him for you?
Yes, I would. I got my hand full with this other. I'll hold him out to just bitch slap him once for me so he calms down a little bit.
Yeah, and so he says, sort of motions his group to come on. He's the same rank as you. He's got a red star. He pulls out his baton and just bashes the guy in the face. Teeth go flying. The guy's cheek is cut. He gets shocked and paralyzed and falls limp.
It's all right. Just taking one for the team. Let's go. I'll leave him behind and keep going.
And then as you go, he kind of grabs your shoulder and spins you around and says, "Hey, who are you? I don't recognize you."
They were moving up through the ranks quickly. Pretty soon I'll be your master as well. So best to carry on before I make a mental note of you.
Sort of squares up and kind of gets a bit closer to you. What's your name?
Jimmy.
Huh. That's weird, because all our names are birds.
Ain't you ever heard of a Jimmy Bird? You fucking retard. It's an old world reference. They're like a phoenix. Rise from the ashes. Singe the hairs on your ass. Let's move along.
Oh, A Jimmy Bird, of course. My mistake. Sorry, friend. Well, just stressful times, I guess, and sort of walks off.
I'll remember your face.
Rejoins his group. So you guys carry on.
I'll pick up poor Arnold. Good job. Take one for the team.
He's just out. He's just been paralyzed and like knocked the fuck out. So this guy who's now on his 5th name that he's been called is he's passed out. So you're sort of carrying him at this point.
Yeah, I'll football shoulder him along, I guess. Yeah. I'm strong enough.
And you see that drone that was sort of hovering. It doesn't follow its group, it just stays hovering. Kind of rotating as you walk away.
It's like, let's get to the other way. We can set off the rest of these charges.
Yeah. So you keep going, and you've got 2 charges left, or two charges left to place, and maybe 500 meters, sort of putting them down as you go. You're pretty much done. And that drone has seemingly followed you. You see it sort of slowly coming over a building.
Whisper over to Dias. Got any guns? I don't have any ranged weapons, but we need to take out the drone somehow.
He says, no, I'm all bombs. I got a knife, but that's...
I got a knife too.
You hear the sound of 2 other drones, but these are like louder drones. And maybe looking up, you sort of see that there's a T shape coming towards you again from a distance.
Well, why don't you go ahead, set up the last couple charges. I'll distract the drones for the moment. Meet back at wherever we decided to meet back. I'll meet you back there.
Casino, probably. You've kind of gone in a bit of a circle, so you're getting back that way now. So he's
set off the last couple and meet us back there. Me and Ryan Arnold Smith, Juan Carlos Jr. here will deal with this fellow.
Juan Carlos. And he says, "You're going to deal with those." And points at the T's.
Yep. Go. Hurry up.
All right then, and sort of jogs off. And the T's sort of surround you. You still can't really see. And then the bottom part, the kind of, vertical part drops off. And you land and you see that it's 2 dudes in enormous power armor being carried by sort of bulked up drones. And they're both sort of aiming these sort of big guns at you. And they say, "Citizen, why are you resisting the Ark? It is our journey."
There he is.
If anyone's allowed to do it, I'm goddamn allowed to do it. He turns off his phone that went off.
I don't get the reference.
And
basically 2 guys in power armor.
Yeah.
They're like sitting kind of in it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to get my way to the Ark right now. Can't you see I'm carrying this bastard on my shoulders? I can only walk so fast with this lunk ass. Unless you want to give me a ride. Maybe you come on and take him.
We don't do that.
Well, then how about I go about my business then?
We have intelligence drone footage to suggest you may not be a high arbiter. Can you please identify yourself?
I should have asked that other guy's name. He says, "No, I'm not a high arbiter, but I needed a robe." And,
He did tell you his name.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. He said his name was Stork, because they all have bird names.
Oh, high arbiter Stork then. Just carrying another baby on my shoulders.
Odds or evens, Morgan?
Odds. Since I don't have my robes, my other ones got ripped off by this bastard and caught in a bit of a grenade fire. I'm just trying to make sure I don't get beaten down with the rest of the citizens. Pulled those off one of those other dead bastards.
Very well, Albert Stork. I just need to. I'll just take that, and like he kind of reaches down for the prisoner. You can tell he's sort of trying to intimidate you before he realized who you were. Because you're kind of splashed with blood, so maybe he didn't immediately recognize you, sort of thing.
There's two of them.
Mm-hmm. One behind you,
You
one
can
in front.
take them.
Hell yeah, I can. So yeah, as he reaches down to, take this guy, I'll kind of shoulder him up a little bit, like I'm getting ready to beat him up.
Just to be clear, these machines they're in are standing about 9 feet tall.
That's okay.
Yeah, just for reference.
Yeah, he kind of shoulders this one. I guess it'll be on his left shoulder, so he kind of reaches in and kind of push up this guy towards us and says, yeah, if you can take this guy, that would be awfully great. As soon as this guy goes to take him, assuming he does or whatever, I'm going to bring out that shock baton, try and hit maybe some sort of like a computer chip or something in this mech suit, something that would cause it to malfunction for the moment.
Stick it in the wires. Yeah, go for
it. With Braun?
Yeah.
Right. That would be a 9.
That does hit.
Yeah, I don't know how you want to do the other part.
Well, he has to make the save to see if he's paralyzed.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He does not. And he just, the whole suit kind of shakes and he's just like, the suit kind of like falls and the suit's way heavier than the guy can lift. So he's kind of stuck there for a round. He says, what are you doing? And the other guy behind you is just going to open fire. Oh, excuse me. All right. That is a 8 to hit. Okay. So he has this. It's sort of just like an automatic sort of rifle thing. So you're going to take a wound. And I need you to make a brawn check.
No, 12.
Okay. So that is more than enough. But you can tell that these sort of bullets, they sort of hit you in the back, and your sort of armored plating takes kind of a bit of the blow. But you're sort of knocked forward, but you stay standing. These bullets are sort of high impact FMJ type rounds. And we'll cut back to the other group then, just see what's going on with that. So, you have successfully hacked this drone. What are you trying to make it do again? Send the footage.
Send the footage, so it's a red herring. They think there's insurgent style attack going on.
Make them think it's happening now.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so you send that. You're not sure if it's worked or not, but the signal's working and they're being sent the footage, but you don't know if they're gonna fall for it or whatever. What would you like to do now?
We need to make our way over to. We never actually set a rendezvous point.
Dope.
I figured we were just doing the casino. That's where I sent the other guy to.
Probably whatever our break point was wherever we were last were together.
All right, so that's what we need to do then, is go back there.
Very well.
So like the footage won't be sending until they come back, and then
Okay, yeah, I'll say you can do it on a remote.
yeah, it's all concurrent.
Yeah. Cool. All right, so you can go back and wait there then. So then I guess we'll jump back to Nomad, see what's going on there. So let's just take a quick initiative here.
10.
Very well, you're first.
All right. Are these like mech type suits that like kind of wrap around the body, or are they like or are they like cyborgs?
Yeah, the mech suits, sort of up to like their belly button is under metal, and their arms are under metal, and their heads are under metal, but their sort of torso is less exposed, so they have maneuverability. But they're still wearing like flak jackets and stuff over it.
Okay. Yeah, I just dive right in. Obviously, trying to hit whatever I can. Mainly trying not to hurt the suit, but just beat the shit out of the guy. I want to see blood.
Okay.
So just kind of
Make your
beating
attack
on the
again.
chest or whatever.
Yeah. So this is the guy who you already hit, right?
No, the one who's not down. The other one I'm not worried about since he's down at the moment.
Yeah.
So whatever one attacked me, shot me.
Right.
Rob, are we too far that we can't hear gunfire or anything?
You'll be able to. Yeah, I'd say you can hear it. So, yeah, because you'd be the next street over. So yeah, you can hear it, but it'll take you probably 2 or 3 rounds to get there.
Okay.
Just
Killbot will ask for permission to go assist.
cool. Did you hit Morgan? What was the roll?
10.
10. Yeah.
So just wherever I can find any sort of weakness within his body or his torso, hands, whatever I can see, I just smash this bat right into it.
Yeah.
See
Make another roll.
No silver in my hand.
He got a natural 10 on his roll, so he's not paralyzed, but you did like whack the bat kind of in the side where he's less exposed. All right, these guys, one of them misses his turn, the one you use out. The other one is up and running, and kind of because you moved in, he pulls out his hand, and much like Killbot's rocket launcher, he sort of moves it, and it becomes this sort of round kind of single thing that his fist is inside of, and he's gonna basically put it to your chest at sort of point blank range and try and emit this field. So I will need to roll. Okay, that's gonna be an 8, and I'm going to need you to take 1 wound, and I'm going to need you to make another brawn save, please.
3 wounds and 7, 10 for my save.
Okay, again, the strength of Nomad fighting off these enormous mech suits. You feel this kind of pulse ripple through your body, and you're sort of sent back, and you feel all your limbs kind of become heavy for a moment, but you sort of shake it off and stand back up. You see that there's this sort of red kind of swirling flashing light here on both of them, indicating that combat has been initiated and backup is inbound. And that's that for that round. So Killbot, are you asking permission?
Killbot requests permission to engage hostiles.
Go get him,
Citizen
Stabby.
Nomad in danger. Say again.
Go and get him, Stallion.
Yeah, Killbot takes off like the Terminator.
Awesome. Perry, are you following suit, or are you going your own way?
I will follow suit.
Yeah.
If the drone is hacked, I will follow suit, and what I'll do is, before I give permission, is I'll take off my magnetic converse, put them on my hands, slap them to the back of Killbot, and ride them.
That's amazing. That's perfect. All right. So, it's your go then, Morgan, or should I say Nomad?
All right. Well, that one's right in front of me. I'm assuming. I know the other one's gonna be getting up, but yeah, same thing. He's just leveling this. The shock baton into him. You can see this razor blade kind of glint out in his other hand though as he gets
Oh,
ready.
nice. Yeah.
8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah. Need to save again. Ooh, Brawn, I believe. Yeah, that's a 9. So he saves again. He has to be a 6. Yeah.
That's what happened.
And so this guy is kind of it's sort of you're going blow for blow with him, but neither of you are sort of bowing to the other, you know. But it's their go, and both are up and running this time. He's going to try that point blank pulse thing again. Fuck. He rolls a natural 1, and so you just like step aside, and he just shoots it in the exact same place, and you see this kind of ripple of heat just move out of his sort of wrist, but it doesn't happen, and he swears. The other one comes up behind, and he has a much larger, like full baseball bat sized. Oh shit! Just punch it. Bat, and he swings it at the back of your head. Oh yeah, that's gonna hit. That's a 9. So another wound, and I need you to make a brawn save, please, Morgan.
An 11.
God damn, you guys are the strongest motherfucker in the world.
I have a great die.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna pay for this, I'm sure, when that really important roll comes.
Yeah, he just like collides with your back, and you sort of sent forward into the other one a little bit. So you do take the wound, but you don't fall down. You see in the distance some blue-robed guys running towards you. What would you like to do? Killbot is running in. So Killbot, you
Am I within range of anybody?
You are in range for a range attack.
Yeah.
At the moment. If you like, so you sort of come up on the scene where, you know, it's like two huge guys and Nomad in the middle, just getting punched back and forth between them. You know.
And there's people charging in, right?
Yeah, but there are like 2 or 3 rounds out there, quite far.
Okay. Then I'll just kind of like try to get a really like slow, accurate shot on one of the guys fighting.
Can I see them coming?
Yeah, you know they're coming.
I'd be pointing towards the one that I shocked, if that matters. Not the one I'm fighting.
I'll fucking shoot that one.
Go for it.
Ew, that's a 4.
Does not hit, I'm afraid. Your lasers just bounce off these guys.
Killbot feels like failure.
Perry?
Well, I've just rough rodeoed bareback on a robot, so...
Wow.
I'm not sure how I feel about that, but okay.
NSFW much?
Yeah. Yeah, your minds went there.
Mm-hmm.
But
So
I'm going
did
to
your
quit him.
voice.
And unmagnetic my boots into a roll and come up, pistol in hand,
So
shooting.
go for it.
And I'm going to miss because that's a 4.
Yeah. Again, they're just bouncing off this guy. All right. It's Nomads go again.
Same thing. Ooh, that wouldn't be as good. That's going to be a 4, 5, 6, 7.
Does not hit, I'm afraid. These guys are tough, and the armor is just clang, clang, clang. Just nothing's getting through with these shots. Okay, here's where it gets interesting. So, the one that you shocked, there's a drone kind of watching the fight above, sort of coming in, and it says subordination detected or insubordination detected. Engage primal protocol, and you hear one of the cultists go, "No, no, 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 no!" Like in the suit, and the suit just like basically bends down. You see just blood like splurt from the sides, and the guy's body inside is just being mangled as the suit basically reforms itself into a sort of 4-legged creature shape. The head kind of comes up, these 2 sort of horns extend outwards. The guy's just dead inside, but the machine still kind of continues on automatically, and it sort of looks like this giant bull. The face kind of morphs and becomes another one of those sort of round guns that the guy keeps trying to use on you, and it begins charging you, Nomad. In fact, no, it wouldn't. It would go for the guys who shot it. So it's going to go for Killbot. So that's going to be a 10 total to hit.
Oh yeah.
So you take a wound, and I'll need a brawn save from you as well, please.
It's 10 total on the bronze save.
Okay, you're fine. You're pushed back a little bit, but you stay standing and stay okay. The other guy is gonna swing down with his bat, but suddenly, sort of as he's swinging, he kind of pulls the trigger on it, and an axe blade sort of comes out the top. 10 total to hit. That is going to be a wound for you, and you're going to get another lasting effect, Nomad. You have the lasting effect bleeding, which will mean that until you have like sawn to your wound and until you've patched it up, you cannot regain health, which is not going to be that big a deal for this. But also it may weaken you if left, if you leave it for too long. Just a heads up there. And the cultists continue to run in. Perry, what would you be doing here?
I will be continuing to shoot, but the one Killbot, the beast, the Dino bot.
Yeah. Cool. Go for it.
That's going to be an 11.
That hits. Something starts smoking inside, and it just rounds its head on you, and you see the kind of face gun thing sort of glowing up. Killbot, what are you doing? You've just been rammed.
Yep. So there's a one on all fours that's right in front of me, right?
Yeah. So there's like a bull bot and a man bot type thing.
Can I grab the thing that just charged me and grab it around the waist, pick it up, and suplex it straight down?
Fuck yes, you can.
Yeah,
give me a brawn attack here.
Cool. Nice. 8.
All right. So you lift it up, and you can't sort of do it in one snap motion. You sort of lift it up, and you watch as your feet start like sinking into the pavement. You know, the pavement's like crushed underneath you, and then you sort of manage to kind of get it over the tipping point. So it's going to take a wound there, and it's now prone.
Nice.
Nomad.
Does prone give some kind of condition, like easier to hit or does more damage or something?
Yeah, its defense is going to be lower, and it's going to be easier to hit. So it's going to be easier to hit, and also like it's not going to be able to. It's going to have to get up before it can really do anything.
It's to spend time to get up.
Right.
So Nomad lifts up this shock baton he has and comes in with it, almost more like he's trying to just hit this big metal mech suit or whatever, trying to draw its attention away. In his other hand, you see this blade come up and slash across what's part was open on this guy's chest. I got a 10. Kind of using this baton as a feint almost so I can start drawing some blood.
Oh, hell yeah. So, yeah, you definitely see some blood start trickling out, and you hear him swearing. He kind of is gonna, in fact, if you nicked him with a thing,
It was kind of going for like the stomach area or torso area.
He's gonna have the same lasting effect as you then, bleeding. But he is gonna ignore that for now, and he's gonna charge up his gun again because I really want to fucking get one of these things off. That's a 10 to hit. I'm rolling well with these dudes, so take another wound, Morgan. And
how you doing there?
Make me death save.
Not good.
Make me death save.
7-10 is my save.
God fucking mother. Damn it. All right. So that takes us to Perry.
So the one that got suplexed, is it down, out? It's just still kicking.
It's like thrashing around like a.
Still going, but prone.
Still going but prone. In that case, I'm going to run over to it.
Yeah.
Don't know where or if this thing has a control panel that's visible.
Yeah, it just so happens it's on its belly.
Yeah, the soft underside
Aw.
of its metallic belly.
Yeah.
Let's give it a tickle.
I will say, to get there, you're going to have to make me a dex save because its feet are a kicking.
5.
You take a glancing blow. Not enough to do a wound, but it's gonna bruise tomorrow like a mother bitch. But yeah, you can get to his control panel and start working on that if you want.
Yeah, all I'm going to do is the good old fashioned slam it open, slam in the magnetic converse in, and turn it on.
Oh, okay. That's incredible. I'm tempted to give you the lasting effect genius for your last 2 uses of these converse. Oh shit. Yeah. Okay.
That's what it sounded like as you ripped it open.
Yeah. All right. You see the thing like begin like shaking like it's not like stopped or shorted out, but it can't move. It's kind of like almost as if it's, you know, you've got a CD that's stuck and it keeps like, you know, in that. So it's stuck for now. Killbot.
So the suplexed one just got a maglev boot implanted in its circuit board.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave that one alone because he seems to want to fuck with it. And there's another one that's near me, right?
Yeah, you can get over to the other one that's fucking up Nomad.
If you see, if Nomad sees you, he'll be like shaking his head. No, you can see he's pissed.
Do I get the impression he wants me to shoot it or no?
No.
Okay. Is there a cluster of guys someplace?
Yeah, they're pretty much going to be on you next round.
And how many are they?
About 10. It's a normal patrol.
No. Should I use a grenade? Probably, but then I'm down to only like 2 more or 1 after that.
I think it's 1 more, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'll use a grenade. We'll see what happens. 7?
Yeah.
No, wait,
fine.
no. 8. 8.
Oh. Yeah, that's good. You destroy. What's that? 7 of them.
Nice.
So you see just like body parts, you know, the red mist stuff that we're used to here.
Nice.
And the other 3 kind of stop for a sec and then keep going, sort of hoping that they can avoid you.
Some brave motherfuckers.
Yeah, well, they've sort of seen all this continuing in the other places, and everyone else who ran away kept getting killed, so they sort of decided to try something different, I guess. Nomad.
Yeah, you guys can see almost this reddish bark in his eyes, covered in blood. His other people's, half his arms barely severed at the moment from this axe. He's gonna drop that baton that he had, clanks on the ground with this echoing sort of sound. And his other hand kind of clenches up, and he's just gonna shove his hand right into this gut of this guy where he had him sliced open, grabbing hold of whatever he can and just shredding.
Fuck yeah. All right. Make me that attack.
9.
Yeah, that's good. So are you trying to go into the guy's stomach and pull guts out, or are you?
Yep.
All right. He is screaming in agony. The only reason he's still up is because he's in a giant mech suit. But he is like watching his guts spill out and like screeching. And as his sort of last kind of hurrah before death, he's going to swing at you one more time, Morgan. Come on. 7.
Yes.
Oh, thank God. That's just 1 wound with the X thing. How are you doing there, Morgan?
I got 1 left.
Good. I did tell you I wanted to try the new dying rules.
I know.
Oh, just reading up.
Get your page ready.
Yeah, and after that,
Yeah, nobody here picked a healing kit, which is kind of incredible.
after that, he just collapses. The machine just collapses as you just more guts and stuff fall out. The the magnetic boot that's in the other one, he seems to overcome it slightly and is able to sort of round it and get onto his feet. He's definitely weakened, but he's slowly, like the bull is slowly pulling itself back to its feet because he rolled a 10. The other guys come in and you're suddenly swarmed by 3 more dudes. 2 of them are going for Killbot, one's going for Perry. Killbot, that's a natural 1. That's a 10. And Perry, that's a 5. So I think the only one that hits is the 10.
Yep.
So brawn save, please.
Ooh, that's no good. That's a 3 total.
That's the paralysis again then. So you miss your next turn as you...
He starts just playing Journey songs.
Yeah.
You hit his music file.
Yeah.
So that's 3 wounds on me so far, I think.
Yep. Perry.
So as things lumbered back to its feet again, magnetic boot. But I'm still imagining that it's got up and I'm still underneath it.
Pretty much.
And I do have another boot.
You do.
So I can have the pair.
All right. It collapses on top of you.
Should have seen it come in.
Yeah. I will say it falls on your arm, but sort of rolls off. But again, that's going to hurt tomorrow. But for now, you're all right. But yeah, you probably should have seen that one coming. Is that all you're doing for the turn then? Double boot?
I guess that would count as an action. So my movement, I guess, is just to stand up at this point.
Yeah. In fact, I've decided retroactively that while that didn't give you a wound, I'm going to say that you've got a broken thumb as a lasting effect on pick a hand.
That would be my right hand. It would be my prominent hand I'd use.
Yeah, fair enough. So that's just going to give you a little bit worse on things like shooting. Just a -1 on stuff like shooting and other stuff that uses your hands. So apart from that, you have 3 guys running in who are sort of second guessing themselves and starting to run out. Killbot misses his turn. Nomad.
Are these 3 running towards me, or are they running towards the others?
They're beating the crap out of Perry and Nomad.
Look down at this mech unit type thing in front of me. Is there any sort of button maybe I could hope was a self-destruction button that I can just push and run?
Maybe
Does it
an
look like he
intellect
has any sort of...
check.
I was hoping perception. Oh, it's going to be an 8.
Okay.
No, 7.
Oh, nothing. Just kidding. You do remember the sort of primal protocol that was engaged on the other one. So if you wanted to sort of destroy what's in there, you could set that off. But as for like blowing it up, nothing really.
Yeah, I just wanted to make it so that none of these other guys could like climb into it or something.
Yeah, so the primal protocol would turn it into a bull, but that puts it on autopilot mode. And the reason that it's currently dead is because the guy inside is dead. Okay. So you don't know if the machine's taken enough damage to not come back to life and start goring you.
Good. Yeah. Knowing that, then he would kind of dismiss that. And can I take a move to just run over and grab Perry and try hauling ass? I'll give Killbot a smack on the back of the head like he did last time. I hope it works.
Yeah. Or, I mean, there's 3 guys over there if you want to do some cutting.
The trick is you got to give it the old Fonzie and like hit it with your elbow, you know? Hey.
Yeah, he would. So, yeah, whatever the closest one is.
Go for it.
He'll grab a hold of Perry, but, try to hit this guy. So, it's going to be a 7.
That hits.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So yeah, he dropped his baton, so it would be with a straight razor, just rushing by and taking a swipe of this guy's cheek, kind of severing it from ear to lips.
The guy's bleeding. So 3, the guy rounds himself and is going to swing for you. Nomad, you ready for this?
Yep.
Oh, you goddamn lucky bitch. Oh my god, I hate you so much. That's a 1. Yeah, I rolled it on my phone as well. Like, I don't know if you can see. Probably not. I don't know. Anyway, it was a 1. So yeah, he just swings and you just step out of the way, I imagine, sort of with ease. The other 2 are going to go for the other 2. So Killbot, that's a 10 to hit you. And that's an 11 to hit Perry. So I need brawn saves from the 2 of you, please.
Oh. 8.
5.
Okay.
5.
Killbot's currently stun locked and is still not doing well.
Nope.
As this guy's just beating on you. But Perry, you shake off the effects. And it's your go, Perry. What would you like to do?
So, yeah, I'm going to have to take a shot. That's about all I can do at this point. I've lost my shoes. For the time being, anyway.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, 2 10s, twice in a row.
Oh.
So I've got -1 to shooting, so that makes it 11.
Yeah, easy. Which one was that attacking, sorry? Just the one that was hitting you?
Yeah, that would be the closest one I would imagine.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, so he just takes a shot, sort of high torso, grunts, still up, but like swearing, and he's got a hole in his kind of top, and he's So let's see. At this point, it is Nomad's turn. Sorry, Killbot.
Oh, that's all right. Things happen.
So that one that tried to hit me, was he using his baton thingy?
Yeah.
All right. So you see, Nomad reach up, just catch this guy's wrist so he doesn't hit him. His other hand reaches out, just wraps around this guy's face. I'm just face planting him into the building wall beside me.
Oh, fuck yeah. Give me that brawn.
Or maybe not 5, 6, 7, 8.
As a hit. So I imagine it's sort of like smash, smash, smash,
Yeah.
smash. Until he's just like pancake head. Awesome.
Exactly. Spin around towards the next one that's on Perry and start rushing towards him.
Sounds good. All right. Odds or evens, everyone. First one to say it. First one to say it.
Odds.
Odds. All right, it's odds. So, at this point, all hell breaks loose. You just hear like in the distance, there's a as it takes you a second, but you realize the charges have just been set off all around. So like, none of you are, close enough to take any damage or anything, but basically it's just noise and light, like in your near vicinity, and everyone just like freaks out. No one knows what's going on. These guys are all going to make checks to see if they still attack or just freeze up, basically. Okay, he's still attacking, and he's freezing up. Okay, so the one on Perry goes for a swing for some reason, and that's going to be a 5, 6, 7.
7's my defense.
Okay, so that doesn't hit you. So he, so I guess he gets to swing, and just as he's swinging, the happens, and so he's just like completely bewildered and messes up, as if air horning someone on a golf course type thing. What would you guys? Oh, yeah.
So I couldn't help but think of the Happy Gilmore. Yes.
It's like that, but in macro. All right, what are you guys doing? The charges have just gone, which either means something happened with the wiring, or Deus set them off.
The plan was to get Killbot on board the ship, right?
Right. Killbot's like just coming around at this point.
Yeah, nothing's going to plan.
Okay, so when Killbot comes out of this paralyzation, he kind of screams, "Killbot will not be shut down!" Turns around and sprints in the opposite direction.
To what?
To a random direction, maybe?
Okay.
He's terrified.
All right. Okay, yeah, let's do this. So you can run up or down the road, so odds or evens?
Evens.
Okay, you run east. So you just turn and run down an alley.
Starts to, anyway.
Yeah. Nomad and Perry, what the fuck are you guys gonna do?
I'm tackling this one guy that's on Perry so I can beat the shit out of him.
Oh, sounds good. Make that roll.
4, 5, 6, 7.
7 does hit. So this guy was previously undamaged, so he's starting to be beaten the fuck out of.
Yeah, I'm just trying to grab a hold of him just to take down and just pummel him.
No, but he's going into self-defense mode and is just bashing you with the kind of heel of his bat. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yep.
That is your AC, isn't it? Or your...
No, my defense is 6.
6. Okay. So you don't have to take the shocking effect, but you do take 1 wound, which I believe...
That'll take me down, yep.
Puts you under. Very well.
Let's see how this works.
So, you are now at critical wounds, which means you're unconscious. You can't do anything. Each turn, you roll 1d10. If you roll a 1, you die permanently. If you roll anything but a 1, you continue to be unconscious. And if you roll a 10, then you stabilize.
So now is when I'm going to roll my 1 because I haven't rolled 1 yet.
Yeah. So basically, the only way you can get up is if you roll a 10 or someone helps you.
All right. You need that now or like in another turn?
No, on your next turn.
Okay.
Perry.
Okay, so how many still up?
Just the 1.
Just the 1. Okay. In that case, I'll just take a pot shot with the pistol again.
Very well.
Try and put him down. Oh, fucking yes. 10.
All right. A hole opens up in the back of his neck, and he just slumps down underneath the dead weight of Nomad's dead corpse or dying corpse. Corpse to be. So Nomad, it is back to your turn, so I'll need that save.
I got a 10.
Fuck you.
I swear I actually did.
I believe you. I believe you, but you're an asshole. So
am I able to act on that?
Yeah, do what you want. But you, at this point, you are back to, you have 1 less wound, basically.
See Nomad go limp for a moment. Then he kind of shakes his head and lifts up. And he looks down at this guy. Is the guy that I was on top of dead, or is he still alive?
He's now dead.
Oh, darn. Okay.
You don't know that, though.
Oh, yeah. Okay, then. So, yeah, he kind of looks down and has a bit of a recognition. You know, he remembered seeing this guy come into their house and take his wife and his children. And he just goes completely apeshit on this body.
Yeah. You will get the lasting effect. I don't know, once dead, which is going to basically manifest itself as your perception is going to take a -1, your intellect is going to take a -1, and your dexterity is going to take a -1.
Shit.
Basically, it's rigor mortis and your brain's fucked, so you're a little bit stiff.
Got it.
And you may or may not be slightly insane. That's up to player choice. Although I think you've made up your mind. So, Killbot, where are you running?
So Killbot gathers himself for a second, realizes what he's doing, and like brushes his digital shoulders off, and kind of just turns on his axis and begins opening fire on whatever is left.
There is nothing left.
Then he just fires off shots.
All right. Dexterity saves then? No.
No.
You've
He's
run.
not firing at them. He's
Yeah.
just kind of like firing at the,
You've
in the
run down an
back row.
alley, so yeah, you wouldn't be firing at them anyway. So that's cool. But I will
But
say,
he'll make his way back and say, "Targets destroyed." That's it.
nice work. All right. What's the plan now?
Nobody will stand up. Turn to the both of you. Bit of a smile on his face. We got some more killing to do. Let's go.
He's still got the. Has that become a permanent character affectation? The cultist voice now.
Yep.
Killbot's going to check for med kits and ammunition on the bodies of the people. That have
They all
been defeated.
carry melee weapons.
Okay.
Uh,
No
so-
med packs or anything.
Yeah, unfortunately, they have nothing. Like
Okay.
this is they're not very well funded. Well, I mean they're well funded, but they've just built a giant spaceship, so tightening the belts,
Mm-hmm. As he did.
Priorities.
Yeah, right. Yeah, what would you guys like to do? You basically, the three of you are surrounded by carnage. The way to the ship, the Ark, is up that way.
Nomad's already walking that way.
Cool. So I'm assuming the others follow, and at this point, you sort of see a few cultist patrols like down alleys and sort of off to the side, but they're all just sprinting past you,
Away from the ship or towards the ship?
away from the ship.
That's a good sign.
You see drones and the T drones with the body mech suit guys like flying past you. Everyone's just ignoring you as you run.
Did Killbot have a diagnostics of the ship, like an outline of the ship or anything?
He did not. I was being a bitch on that one.
Okay. I can't remember.
And so you sort of enter the hangar and you see it. It's sort of this big, bloated, almost looks like a blimp made of metal. And it's got these huge engines on the back. It's about half a mile long, as I said. And you can see there's a few sort of gangways up onto it. And like there are cultists everywhere, but they're just running away from the Ark, like purposefully. Like, they're not like fleeing it, but they're running towards something away from you. And everyone's just ignoring you.
Can we see a clear way to board?
Yeah, the gangways.
Down.
I guess we
No
just
matter-
rush towards them then.
Sure. So you guys just, maybe jog or whatever over. And again, you're still sort of being ignored. You enter the ship, and inside is it's got this very cobbled together feel. You see, curiously, like there's quite a few just gaps that they seem not to have filled. That you get the impression once they're sort of leave the atmosphere of the station would sort of become maybe a massive liability. But you sort of ignore that fact and continue on. Where would you like to go? There's basically, you can go left or right.
Is there any signs that designate anywhere?
There looks to be one down the end of the hall to the left. Sort of sign, and as you approach it, you can see it sort of says brothers and an arrow up, and sheep, arrow to the side.
It's kind of condescending.
I'm holding my shoulder, kind of looking around. He can need a few painkillers.
I imagine
Perhaps the
the good
brothers
stuff.
have a few.
Yeah, the good stuff will be with them. See if we
So-
can find a med bay and find the server.
You guys heading up then, or towards the sheep?
You can see I looked completely out of my sorts here, so I just kind of look over at Perry and Killbot, waiting for you guys to point me where to go.
We'll hit the brothers first.
Very well. So you kind of go up, and it's sort of spiral stairs. Each step's like a different height and stuff. It's just terribly, terribly made. And you eventually get up, and you see that it's sort of this lounge area around you, with like these old kind of trash sofas and that sort of thing. And you can see that like down the far end there looks to be like a big sort of window and some rudimentary computers and that sort of thing. And the room looks to have maybe a few people in it. You can hear them sort of talking amongst themselves, just saying, what the fuck is going on down there? I thought we were going to leave, and that sort of thing, as they're sort of pacing about, and there's people sitting at terminals and that sort of thing.
Is Nomad still wearing his cult outfit?
He is. He's just covered in blood and brain.
Some is mine, some's not.
Yeah. A lot
The
of
brain
it
of
this
the
time
blood.
is actually yours.
So,
Am I supposed to be bringing these guys on board as a prisoner or something like that?
Well, I think Nomad's dressed as a good guy, or a good guy to them.
Yeah.
So.
yeah, so perhaps go in there, give them a story.
You want me to kill him? I can go in there and kill him.
I mean, you do you, Nomad. You do you.
Is that where Harry needs to get? Is it like at the bridge or?
Yeah, it looks like a bridge.
So, all right, Perry. I'll make a distraction, and you do what you do, Perry. Give him a little bit of a smile, turn. I'll just run in there screaming bloody murder at the closest guy, and
Yeah, I mean everyone in there is unarmed except there is like one bodyguard type dude. He's a bit bulkier and he's got a baton.
I'll go after him then.
But everyone else like sees you coming and like, ah, and just kind of jumps out the way, like don't want anything to do. You run up to him, make your attack.
12.
All right. I'm gonna see. Is this with the blade?
Nope, actually, you can see he didn't even bother. He just runs up, grabs a hold of this guy's arm, that had this baton or whatever. Seeing all the others are unarmed, he feels this fellow should be unarmed as well. So I'm just going to start trying to rip his arm off. Got one face on his hand, and the other one's just rending.
All right, let's have a brawn check.
Dark, bro.
Rip his arm off and beat him with the wet end.
Yeah, that's exactly.
It's a very Wookiee thing to do.
11.
All right, well he rolled a 3, so basically, yeah, his arm's somehow pulling off.
I just kind of slam him into the wall and brace my foot up against him, grab that arm in both hands, and just.
You hear bones crunching. It's not quite off, but like the skin stretching and bones are crunching. You hear like as the joint pops out, and he's just like screaming and like trying to bat you with his other hand, but can't quite do it.
All the time I'll be yelling, "You do you, Perry. You do you."
Perry and Killbot, what are you guys doing?
So if we're on the bridge, this is access to all the ship systems.
Oh, hells yeah.
So Killbot, follow me. I'm gonna go over to one of the little control panels, rip it open. I'm trying to think. Let me think. Yeah, I imagine Killbot's got like, just wires for days.
Killbot has many wires.
I'm gonna rip your control panel off, Killbot.
Killbot
Brace
granting
yourself.
consent for control panel access.
I just need the intellect check if you're gonna do that.
Yeah, so use my magic touch. I'm gonna, as you know, connect. I'm gonna plug him in. 6.
Okay.
Fry Killbot's brain.
Yeah. Okay, because it's a sort of mid-roll, I'll give you a 50-50. Odds or evens, Mr. Chekhov?
Odds.
That's 1.
Mm.
So, Killbot, you suddenly see the ship is at your command.
What?
I mean, this is like uncomplex wiring, so everything is just hooked into the one
console.
the one console, so you can do anything.
Not even
Can I get a
flyable.
sense of how? Can I get a sense of how many crewmen are on board the ship right now?
There would be no real way of knowing that. The only thing you would know is you can see there's basically these large kind of hangar-sized doors that could fit, sort of hangar-sized rooms that could fit a spaceship in them. But the doors of like half of them are locked, and you see like the other half of them keep opening and closing as you see people returning with
The doors are on the ship.
Yeah, these are like part of the ship, and sort of
Okay.
these look as if they're holding bays for the people, and sort of it's where the sign sheep was pointing. It's sort of in that direction.
Okay. Killbot has full access to Karada's systems. So what's the name of this? Arc Systems. Awaiting command. Suggest activation of emergency systems. The idea being to, like, set the fire alarms off and get people to evacuate.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. Okay. So you set off these alarms, but and sort of people start leaving maybe, but the door doesn't open. The big doors don't open. It's not automated, so you'd have to open them separately.
Do that, I guess.
Yeah.
Like manually, or I can't do it from the console.
No, as in like you can do it from the console.
Okay, I'll
So
do that.
these doors open, and sort of as you look out back down onto Karadas from the window, you see like just a sea of people not in blue robes, just like running out.
So now we have to get the ship off the station and blow it up, essentially, with all the cultists on board.
If there's any left.
There's
Depends
only
on
a
what
few,
matchup.
yeah. Hopefully all the people riot and kill them all.
Killbot will suggest, perhaps humanoids should disembark. Killbot can pilot ship outside and engage self-destruct.
No, Killbot, I can't lose you.
There he is. Killbot's purpose is to protect station citizens. This is perhaps the best way to do so.
Yeah.
I'll never forget you, Killbot.
Killbot will miss you, Administrator Perry. Do not stop believing.
Well, Killbot better say like his last thing just before it blows up is like, and remember, #journey. Yeah. So is that what you're doing? Are you guys leaving? Well, like,
he's got more cultists to kill.
Nomad's just chewing on this guy's neck or whatever.
I have a new club. I'm well armed now.
All right. Are you just beating down these random like pilots who are in here?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm not gonna make you roll
Just
for it.
chasing them around, clubbing them.
Yeah, they're not fighting back. They're just taking it. So what are you doing, Perry?
say my emotional goodbye to Killbot, and try and grab Nomad and drag him away.
Well, there's got to be some chance that Nomad thinks you're a cultist. Surely there's got to be.
Oh yeah, I think he would. He's pretty much just kind of in a rage.
I'll leave that up to you as to whether it's an odds and evens roll or a roll above. It's up to you.
Sorry, Perry, but if you're gonna grab him, he's just gonna turn around and swing.
I knew it was coming.
Oh, no.
6.
Miss.
I think that's the worst one I've gotten. So yeah, he stops just short. You can see his bit of a recognition as he looks at you. The tear on your eye, he'll kind of reach up and wipe away that tear you have for Killbot, just smearing blood across your face.
It wipes like a massive bit of brain.
Gives you a clap on the back and motions you to leave. I'll kill the rest of them.
What about the wife, the kids?
You think they're alive? Did you see them?
I have no idea what they look like.
You had just only to lie to save this man's life. You just had to say one word, yes, and he would have lived. But you couldn't do it, could you?
Nope.
He just grabs the 2 cultists beside him, just heads crunched together. You do you, Perry. And he turns and tackles the next guy in line.
So, Perry, what do you do?
I'll have to leave. I don't want to die.
Yeah, you're the only goddamn sane one. All right.
As Perry leaves, Killbot turns to him and says, "Hold on to that feeling, Perry."
In the room in the distance, never stop believing.
Well, Perry was just a city boy before.
Yes, he
all
was.
this. And now that all his friends are dead, well, you could just say he's living in a lonely world.
Yep.
Yeah.
You beat me.
They took the midnight arc going.
Going nowhere. Blowing up.
All right. So Perry leaves. Killbot, what do you do?
Once Perry is off the ship, it sounds like he and Nomad are going off into the distance together. We're gonna sail find the star that we're orbiting and pilot a direct course for it. And
I'll just make sure none of the people, cultists or whatever, mess with Perry.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, Killbot.
Yeah, and pretty much all of them were on there. And Perry, when you get off, you just see people like beating to death these dudes in blue with their bare hands. So are you setting the ship to blow itself up?
yeah, so I'll set the self-destruct. If there's a countdown, I'll try to set up a firewall so that nothing else can hack in and disrupt it.
No, you can just do it instantly if you want. Just
No.
boop.
Yeah.
And so Perry looks up and he just sees fireworks as it blows up, like end of Star Wars style. They're just random fireworks and the explosion in the background. And that's
One
what
of Killbot's arms lands beside him with the thumb up.
like,
It's given like the super like thumbs up, you know.
and it's like it just smash cuts like after the credit scene. It's just like it's just Nomad holding his breath, like breaststroke swimming back, just like blood dripping from his mouth, like I'm gonna kill you all. And that's where we'll end it.